Oh, you said we had an agenda. Where is the agenda? Oh, fantastic. Hello. Stacey, you're muted.
Mike. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Holy shit. There we go. But can you hear the desktop audio? Somebody in the stream, that isn't me, say something.
Hello?
Hello.
Testing. Testing.
Can you hear them? I think you can hear them. Oh, you can hear them before and just not me. Well, that's always a lot of fun, too. All right, this is what happens when I try to use OBS Studios instead of Streamlabs. Yeah, my camera is glitching, and it is because my USB hub is glitching. So just pretend I'm in the Matrix. There I go.
It's a feature.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a feature. It's a feature until I upgrade it and shit. Okay, so tonight there's 4 of us. I know. Yay! Thank you for. We got Ted. I'm gonna use my my cursor because I can't turn it off. We got Ted right here. Then we got Steve. Oh, you can hear my cat still. And we got Nikki, and Huggin is back there, and Grogu.
I saw something very exciting online today. It is the first kitten I've seen named Grogu.
Is it one of the Orientals with the really big ears?
Nah.
Oh, just the normal one.
Which is slightly disappointing. Grogu wasn't the best name for this cat, but it was the first.
It was the first. If I ever get an Oriental short hair with the giant ass ears, it's gonna be Grogu. That is a fact. All right.
Steve agreed to name our child Grogu. It was great.
Ooh.
That is 100% what happened. She would never lie to you.
All right. So the first thing I was going to do as I glitch everywhere is I was going to talk about what we got wrong last week. Ted, or 2 weeks ago. Ted, were you here 2 weeks ago for part of it?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all predicting.
Steve and Nikki were not.
We had COVID.
Yeah, we were sick.
Thankfully, you guys are better now. I'm so
Yeah,
glad for
We had a really mild case. It was good.
So, oh man, that's gonna kill me. I'm sorry for the glitchy. We got a lot of shit wrong. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not gonna be Luke. It's gonna be like, Ahsoka or Cal Kestis or something like that. No one guessed it was gonna be.
I'm so sad. I really wanted Mace. I just.
You're a trash human.
It would have made people so mad, though.
Yes. Yes, it
Everybody in here, except for you, it would have made all of us mad.
It would have bothered people, and that's the reason to be a Star Wars fan.
Oh, it's true. It's true. So, oh my god. I don't know what's going on with it, but I can't stop it. It's my USB hub. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. We definitely got that wrong. I got wrong that Cara Dune is not dead.
I figured she wouldn't be. I thought she was going to wind up being the main character of Rangers of the New Republic.
Maybe she won't be, though.
Sid.
I mean, do you think...
I think she's going to end up on Rangers of the New Republic, and I think Mayfield is also going to. I think they're going to have, like, a little buddy cop thing.
And what about Cobb Vanth?
I think he's going to be definitely more front and center in Rangers of the New Republic.
Yes.
I'd like to see more of him, but I'm not holding my breath on that. I think he's just going to be a cameo now and then.
Yeah, I think if they were going to like bring him in a more substantial role, he would have been part of one like the breaking out the baby.
Unless it was a backdoor pilot introducing him. It was the longest episode of the season. So, is Gina still in hot water? Well,
I mean, we don't stand transphobes, so
she's a transphobe. She's anti-masker. It's a
on
little
Parler.
sketchy stuff right now. It's not stuff that you want to be, having your child look up to. That kind of stuff. The things that Star Wars usually likes in their brand name stars. But we'll see. We'll see. I thought she was gonna die because she was just letting it all go on Twitter, basically, and no. I was wrong. But we did get to see Bo and Casca. I told everybody, I said, don't trust the wrestler when she tells you something. She had said she wasn't in the rest of the season, but they all lie. And I knew she wasn't telling the truth.
Well, she knows how to play a crowd, too.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the reasons she's so good at that role compared to, like, Axe.
Yeah. But who was MIA completely?
And nobody like
Came out the bathroom and was like, "Where's everybody?"
He's just guarding Bo's ship, which was awesome to see, by the way. Like, that was really fucking cool that she was there.
I forgot how big this ship was.
Yeah,
Like those are pretty big.
They are.
The volume is amazing, and what they're doing with it is amazing.
it's so cool.
I just want to, like, play in the volume. I just
Yep.
want to, like...
So I used to do tech lighting, and because of it, I had like a key to the place where I was doing the lighting when I was in high school, and I would just go and set up the lights and set up my music and just lie on the floor of this theater by myself, and that's what I want to do in the volume.
Yeah.
I just want to go and set everything up and just be like, magic.
You put up your own private island. Quite literally.
I mean, I like that they get all these really cool lighting effects from it. Like they said, I was watching, the gallery episode, and they showed how they were able to do all these dark scenes in it now. Like that sunset scene with him from the episode 3 of the season. Man, I need to stop watching myself glitch.
I was gonna say reflections off of the armor, because the lighting in the volume it's night and day. You don't have to worry keying things. Still a little bit of blue screen here and there, but they got the lighting down because of the PG environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I noticed that in season 1 with the sunset where Grogu's trying to help Din as he's repairing his armor. Like you could really see like the purples, the blues, the oranges like reflect off of his helmet, and it's just like I don't know if you could capture that as well if you did that with like traditional lighting.
No, because everything would just be like, like
it's just not the same. But getting that off of the volume, I think it's revolutionary technology.
I love it.
Fascinating.
And they're building more of them. Like everything's gonna be filmed on volume.
3 more, I think.
And they're not trying to like hold the technology back. They're not trying to be like, yep, we did this, get fucked. It's like, no, it's like, hey, we did this. You guys can do it too.
That's like the core of Star Wars, right? Like they innovate and then it gets used into everything. So it's badass. I'm excited for that future. And I think a lot of the new Thor movie is going to be on it too, because they're building one of these in Australia. I kind of suspect the reason Taika was involved last season was because they wanted him to test it out and see if they wanted him to use it for the next Thor movie. So they're building one in Australia, basically, because that's where they film all that stuff for Thor. And probably more stuff, but they're going to do that for his next movie, for sure.
So they built a volume for Taika Waititi?
Basically, yeah. I mean, he's a golden boy, and he's going to be doing a Star Wars movie, too, at some point. So why not? Why not? Yeah, it'd be cool. One would probably end up in Atlanta for Marvel. That's possible in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And I know they're building one in Boston, England, I think.
yes. So Joe only found out that there was no Boston. It wasn't Boston, Massachusetts on the stream. I'm like, no, they're filming it in Boston, England. And he's like, what? There's a Boston in England? And yeah, I'm like, yeah.
This is news to me too.
And then we went into the whole the planet of the Mayfields, thing that was possible, where it's Space Boston.
Corellia.
Is it Corellia? Because Han's from there. To be
I'm convinced
fair,
Corellia is Space Boston.
most of the people I know from Boston do not sound like that. It's actually just a subsect of Boston that sounds like that, so it would make sense.
Can you tell I'm from Brooklyn?
Well, if you heard me at 4 years old, you would think I was from Brooklyn. Then I went to school. I lost my Brooklyn accent. Never was in Brooklyn, but yeah. Thank you, Grandma from Brooklyn. All right. What else did we get fucking wrong? Well, it didn't end on a cliffhanger, but I didn't think it was going to. I was pretty sure it wasn't.
It is and it isn't, because now we got to know what's going to happen with Din and the Darksaber.
Yes. All right. Well, that's okay. So definitely a small cliffhanger, like on that regard. But I thought it'd be a cliffhanger with Grogu. Like, would they actually rescue him? Would he still be?
Yeah. Were they going to rescue him or not? Or was it going to be like whisked off to Mandalore or something like that?
Yeah. But now he's not with Daddy anymore, and that makes me sad.
Well, and we will get into my feelings.
Yes.
I have feelings. But there were elements of the episode I really, really liked, and the goodbye with Grogu was so well done. I
cried so many tears. So many tears.
The heart scream.
In fact, we got all on the video call at 4 a.m, about 6 or 7 of us, and we were still crying. And it was ridiculous. All right. Well, my next bullet here is kind of a little bit of the order of what happened. Every time I flash to it, you can see I get brighter. The first thing of note to me was two Mandos walk into a bar.
I wanted to like that scene. That scene was so cool, but Mando's just standing there, and like, there's all of this character stuff going on. He's like, okay, princess. She's like, you're a clone. And Mando's just like, I'm not interested in any of this. Let's go. And I'm like,
It's not his business. He doesn't want to get involved.
Focused.
But, so there was debate if whether Bo knew who he was. Oh! Thank you for giving my husband a subscription, John. Make him come and watch this. Okay. But I don't think that Bo knew who Boba was. Because...
Not actually.
Yeah. Because it wasn't until he said something. Then she's like, oh, you're a clone.
Do not self-destruct.
Oh, another subscriber. Thank you, Dr. Yo.
Heard that voice 1,000 times before.
I was going to build off that point. The thing that I think really stood out is when he was actually fighting Casca, and the fact that they came to blows and like equal strength when it comes to the flamethrowers. Like, she's at that's enough. If we had fought that viciously on Mandalore, we could have kept the planet. So she addressed both of them.
Yeah. See, I think her beef is not that she knows who Boba is and she thinks he's shit. I think she thinks that he's just the clone that picked up this armor and is claiming that Jango's his dad when he really had no relationship to Jango. Like,
that would have been really nice if, like, the dialogue had discussed it.
Yes.
But no, I don't know. It was disappointing to me because there was that perfect chance for world building and for telling us how do Mandalorians see the clones. What is their connection to that? What is the larger connection as people are like, oh shit, that's a clone. How is Mando gonna react? And it's
I think we're gonna
moving on.
I don't think it's gonna happen there, but I think we're gonna see it in Bad Batch. That's my prediction. I think that's where it's gonna tie up a lot of the clone stories, because the clones helped Bo and the Mandalorians get the planet back from the Maul faction, right? But then Order 66 happened, and they basically took the planet from them when she wasn't going to be cooperative. So she initially was good with them, but then they turned on her. So I understand why she's probably bitter when she thinks of a clone at this point.
And good chance Boba winds up being in Bad Batch. Daniel Logan's all over Twitter saying that he wants to be in it, so...
I think they're done with it. So if he's not in it already...
He's not in it already.
I
They would
really
hire.
It'd be Bradley Baker to do that.
Do we
voice,
have
most
shit
likely.
talk Daniel
Yeah.
Logan? Is that a bullet point? Where are we fitting that into our
We
agenda?
will do that when we go finish the rundown through the episode. Don't worry, we'll get that. But yeah, that fucking bar fight though was awesome.
It like the choreography was great. It was such a fun scene to watch.
And that is why Sasha Banks, Mercedes, her real name, is totally in this because man, she can do some moves. Without her helmet on, they don't need a stunt double for her, so it was cool. Of course, when I saw Bo's helmet just go sliding off the table like that and falling, and I'm like, oh, that's how helmets break. But then I'm like, it's supposed to be metal, so it's okay.
Watching all the behind the scenes stuff and everybody's doing the bucket tilt, it's like, yeah.
Oh, I know. I it's funny because like half my pictures at Celebration from a couple years ago, I'm walking around with it like on top of my head like that, and all of them behind the scenes are all doing the same thing, and I'm like, I feel so seen right now.
If they let Mando culture.
that is unofficial Mandalorian culture right there. So that was cool though. But yeah, I definitely don't think she knows who Boba Fett really is. I don't think they know that Jango had like one of the clones he considered a real son. So I think that'll come up later. I think it'll be hashed out at some point between them, but I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, well, clearly it wasn't now. It might be in the Book of Boba.
Fett, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. All right, that's a bullet point for later too. All right, the plan. So I really thought, I was like, there's no way that they're going to try to get in with like 5 people. That was another thing I got wrong from last fucking time. I was like, they're going to have like an army. They're going to get the New Republic. They're going to get like everybody. And nah.
It makes me think of the Avengers SNL skit with like Hawkeye, and he's like, he runs out of arrows. He's like, how many arrows did you bring? Every arrow I got. How many's that? 12. Like, it's that same energy of like, Mando's like, this is everyone I know in the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe Bo would get more Mandalorians. Like, it's like, here's the guy that she's been after, and they're gonna get him. Why isn't she gonna bring her whole crew? At least Axe. Where the fuck is that guy?
I still thought that
Axe was so boring, I didn't even notice he wasn't there at first.
Oh, Axe Wolves?
Yeah, just doing like a head count. I'm like, oh shit, that other guy.
He stands like he doesn't know what to do with his hands.
That is a thing you have to learn to do in armor, though. That is
for
a
sure.
learn. Yeah, he should have spent more time in it. Maybe that's something that you learn. But you know why I think he wasn't there? So we can have some badass women taking a ship moments.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'm okay with that. But they should have been like, okay, he's gonna stay on the ship with the doctor, who's Imperial Science.
That would be the in-universe explanation, I would think.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they would have been like, oh, he's with the ship, or he's off running a message for me, like just something. And that's another one of the storytelling balls I really feel like they dropped. They didn't say where Axe Wolves went.
Yeah, it's
and there were a lot of like
stuff.
All the balls dropped were like golf balls, but if you drop enough golf balls, they make a really loud sound.
Yes, many questions. That's what happens in these episodes. I end up with more questions than answers, basically. Like, what's fucking happening here? But that was the other thing I got wrong. I thought maybe they were heading to Camino, because that's where it looked like on their trajectory that they were going. And they didn't.
Maybe they still were. Maybe they were on their way there, but they just got them en route.
It's true. It's possible. And he said, though, that he got what he wanted from Grogu. So there's a good chance the data got sent somewhere and it'll come back up at some point. But, yeah. It's a thing. We'll see what happens. So, unfortunately, we didn't get to see... I was hoping we'd see more Mandalorians. I really thought we were going to get more of Bo's crew. Whatever clans she has left, maybe she doesn't have anybody left, which is why she wants the Darksaber so bad. So we'll see. But the fucking taking the ship scene was really fucking cool. And at first I was like, that's it, Boba's gone, he's not coming back. But now I know why that happened too, which is more towards, so they didn't have that Luke Boba awkward moment. Like,
see, and that's what I want. Why are you gonna bring back here?
I know. It's like that Umbrella Academy meme.
Yes, it is exactly that. It's exactly that.
don't tease, like, don't give me characters that know each other or know of each other and just not reference their relationship. That's otherwise just don't do like the familiar characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I'll get more into that later because that was what was kind of weird for me. But then, okay, so the next crazy thing that happened was the Dark Troopers.
Do also want an Ahsoka Luke meeting. I want that. Sorry, looking at the chat.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I'm hoping that happens in the Ahsoka show, but we'll see.
Which one?
The Ahsoka and Luke meeting.
Oh, I mean,
well, I just want Luke to collect all the Jedi that have been, fucking off in the galaxy. Just be like, so.
Where the fuck have you been?
Well,
I was 19 years old.
A Grievous collection where he's got like Jedi under his robes instead of lightsabers. It's like another one from my collection.
Yeah. Well, the Dark Troopers were really cool, and then we found out there was actually dudes in those suits for the most part, and
I know, like that was practical. Like that blew my mind.
They CGI'd like the joints and stuff later, but yeah, most of that was practical, and they had to synchronize their movements. I loved it, but
that makes sense. But it seemed so, I don't know, like cross between CG, but also like not.
Yeah,
it was weird.
It was good looking. It was good looking.
Like that is the best use of CGI is like to
touch ups and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
You use them together, improve on the practical. Just
Yes, and when the one started smashing Din's head in, my heart. There's so much anxiety.
A concussion.
Yeah, no, I know. I had so much fucking anxiety that whole episode, but it basically was like.
Thank you. No, that's another one that was like.
How is TBI now?
I'm like, how is he still there? How is he still standing up?
But also, I actually hated that moment. It just went on for too long. Like, it was one of those things where, like, the first couple of times I was like, oh shit. But then it just kind of kept happening. Also, I was having flashbacks to Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh my god. My head's gonna
he wore a helmet this time, so he was okay. He was okay. He learned his lesson, right? It's good. But I think they did that because they wanted to show just how fucking ridiculously awful these things are. And why, like, they were basically doomed if the whole squad of them came rolling up on them. And they also got a chance. Oh, we get a Joe after all.
Oh boy, Joe's not gonna like my thoughts.
Oh, he's gonna be here.
He probably got his kids to bed.
Joe, you ready for Blood Feud? What are we on? 6?
Yes. Yes.
You need to have like one of those buttons where it's like, let's get ready to rumble.
It's true. I do. I need to get some more effects. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. Let me see if this stops my camera from glitching. It might be that simple. Or not! It's not at all. I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay.
You look like you're about to be taken over by, like, V from V for Vendetta or something. Like, that Hawkmask is just going to show up, drop some knowledge.
Honestly, at this point, I'm surprised Johnny Silverhand's not standing behind you.
I know. What am I going to do? I don't know what's wrong with it. It's so bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to have to keep glitching. A lot of cyberpunk. I'm a bug. I'm coming out into the real world.
No, Infinite knows what's up.
But, Joe is also infinitely loading, so he's also very distracting. So we can just watch him do that now.
Joe, turn on your Wi-Fi. Don't use 5G.
Oh, man. It's so bad now. Okay. All right. So he spears the fuck out of this thing, which is cool. I was like, he's showing that he knows how to fight with it. That's going to come in handy. But also, I was like, wait, shouldn't Bo have this right now? Like, why? No, it's still glitching. Shit. Alright, why does he still have this fucking thing? But it's a good thing he did. So he gets through. He gets to Grogu. Joe is just not coming. It's okay. He'll be here in time for your thoughts, though, I'm sure. That's when he's going to make his appearance. And then... dude's just sitting there with the fucking saber, and that was my other giant anxiety moment. I'm like, you cannot hold a saber over my son like that. That is unacceptable. And everyone's like, why doesn't he shoot him? And I'm like, you can't just shoot him. There's a baby under him. And they're like, he wouldn't drop it on the baby.
Bad idea.
I'm like, we don't take those chances when it's your children. You don't. You don't take those chances at all. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's Joe. He's joining me in the We Stream in Our Garage club.
I wish I had a garage.
All right, I'm going to try one more thing.
Outside if you'd like.
Keep going. I'm going to try something else.
Joe, we keep on saying it looks like it's glitching like Cyberpunk. Stacy's glitching.
In Stacy's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Someone in the chat made a Vanellope comment, which I feel that. Oh, I think you got it.
She did it!
Maybe not.
No, I think we're good.
Good.
Ooh,
Joe
Joe
does even look a little like Vanellope. I feel like she could rock that.
Joe, where's my Winter Soldier mask, Joe? No, but
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, good.
There we go. Now you can hear me. Okay, I'm fixed.
On the
I turned it off and
on
back
the list.
on.
Just send it to me. I can print it as of Wednesday.
All right.
It's awesome.
Okay. Oh shit.
Look at all of us in our 3D printer.
I'm really bright. I look like a ghost.
that's
Let me fix
because
this.
you're white.
You are the vanilla.
I mean, that's true too, but not quite this white.
Technical difficulties, everybody. Sorry. I just dropped something.
So, I
There we
do think
go.
there is a good, like, you could shoot Gideon and he's not batting, blaster bolts back at you.
No,
Like,
but he could
he's not a
drop
force
that
user.
shit right on Grogu.
And even watching
How
him,
trajectory
Works.
You don't take that chance. You do not want to harm a precious little hair on this darling child's head, okay? It's not what we do. We don't take any risks. Also, for a second, I really thought he was just going to let him, like, escape and he was going to leave. I really thought that was a legit possibility.
nah.
He got what he wanted. Now it's just, like, the question is, why did he attack him?
Can't let him like get away from
Why
that.
did he attack him? Oh, because he probably thought he could win. And he thought the Dark Troopers would save his ass. I mean, like he really did. They almost did. And also, he wanted to go and see the look on Bo-Katan's face.
I
think he was trying to play
both ends against the middle. He knew he was going to lose that fight in the end and just really wanted to throw a wrench between the two Mandos because I think that man hates Mandos as a people.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't he? I'm sure they were not, what's the word? Peaceable tenants?
Cooperative.
Cooperative?
With their Imperial overlords.
Right.
I can tell you trying to lead Mandos is like wrangling cats. So
like real life.
Yeah. I mean, he could have ordered the glassing of the planet. To be fair, though, the planet was already basically glassed. They lived in dome cities. It was already just pretty much a shit planet because of what they did to it. The Empire didn't have to do that much else to it for it to be shit.
Like, what do they mean by glass the planet? Like, that's the part that's always kind of throwing me off. It's like, isn't it already glass?
What do you mean by glass the planet?
Nope. What? I think we're getting an echo.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I did hear what you said. It's from Joe.
Yeah, I was pulling up the Twitch on my phone so I can actually see the questions for once.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. So, but I think they did something to it where people think it's uninhabitable, but it probably isn't. But we won't know until next season, but I think they're going to get into it next
2 years
season.
from now.
What if this is a plot twist? What if instead of it being glassed, it's become this garden world, and the Imperial remnant's been keeping it hidden off from the universe?
Oh,
and
the
we'll,
planet's
get there
healed
and
without Mandalorians on it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
well,
possible.
Turns out all it took was these fuckers leaving.
It's gonna be like Wall-E, where like the apocalyptic wasteland's growing green again. I mean,
Damn,
Well,
Mandalorians ruined Mandalore.
I think you would play into the what the client said, how the Empire improves everywhere it touches. I think that would be kind of a nice wink to the first episode.
It's true, but I also guarantee they stripped mine the fuck out of it, stripping
Probably.
all the Beskar out of the planet.
Yeah, they wanted to have a Beskar Death Star probably or some shit.
That's true. That would be really hard to blow up the third time. I mean,
Wouldn't that just turn into
We'll get it right this time.
so yeah, I mean, I was when he came in with the Darksaber and Gideon as his prisoner to the bridge, and he goes to hand her the Darksaber. I was like, all right, cool. She'll take that shit, right? Like, she did it from Sabine in Rebels. What's the problem now? Why won't she fucking take that shit? And yeah.
Who was it? Nikki, was it you who brought up to me the other day that maybe she just has a superstition about it after that?
I think
Well,
so,
I'm wondering if it's the first time nobody respected her claim as Mandalore because she just took the saber and now she's like, okay, I'm gonna kick somebody's ass for the saber.
Yeah. I think that might have been what happened, is that she did get some people to follow her, but then she lost it. And we don't know how she lost or whatever. And could be that, everybody who was following her before lost faith in her. And she would have to stake a real claim to get their backing again. Which is why
That would make sense.
Yeah, why she might not have that many Mandalorians at her beck and call anymore.
Well, talking about her spinning it, it's not gonna be the same as I won this in battle.
Right. Yep.
I don't know how much good the story of beating Din Djarin and the Mandalorian that nobody knows about is, though, either. Like,
Well,
they're like, oh, it's all about the story.
The Moff's ass.
Right.
Yeah,
She was supposed to take it from the
that's why-
Moff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then the Moff is playing them against each other. Like, oh, she has to take it from you, otherwise it's not worth anything because only the story is worth it, not the weapon. But like,
The only people that know the
there's not
fucking
much
story.
yeah, there's
people
not
on
much
that
story
ship.
of Mandalorian or Bo-Katan kicking unknown Mandalorian Din Djarin's
See,
ass.
that would have been an awesome moment. Like, the only person who doesn't know I got it from you is you. So, blaster bolt.
But also, here's the thing, though.
Ooh, I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea where
Just go around the room and be like, what did you see? What did you see? Oh, yeah, we all saw me get the saber from the Moff.
That's not
Crazy.
how honor works.
They've got honor. That's what I was gonna say. They've got their honor now. But you know what Din could have just did? He could have just handed the shit back to Gideon and been like, all right, fight her. I don't know.
That's what he should do.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I
Apparently it
guess
works like fucking wands in Harry Potter.
someone in the Twitch said, but Din Djarin kicked Moff Gideon's ass, and then if she kicks Din Djarin's ass, then it's like a second level of ass kicking, which I guess, but I don't know.
I mean, they might be able to fight, and she might not have to kill him to win it. Nobody says that. Because look, Moff Gideon's not dead.
They said, would the others on the bridge really care about it, though? I mean, none of them except for Casca and Bo. I mean, Casca would probably care.
But if Bo's very superstitious about this now and wants to do it right, then she has to do it right. Like,
Oh, absolutely. It's in her head.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way I have to do it, because clearly,
he
when she
mind
got
fucked her too. Like, yeah, he's playing
clearly
that.
she's been given this weapon before, and for whatever reason, it wasn't enough, because she hasn't been Mandalore yet. She hasn't been able to do what she wanted to do, because last time it was given to her. Like, everybody online's like, why didn't she just take it? She took it once before. Yes, she did, and obviously, this is why, because nothing happened when she was given it before,
But we want to see that story, which I hope we get next season. Like, we want to know what happened and why. Like, what happened? How'd she lose it? Because we keep making up all these different stories. That's how she lost it. I want to know. And I thought that they would finally show us at this point, but nope. So, it's another question I have. Questions.
When was the purge supposed to be?
Sometime after Rebels.
After Rebels.
That's all we got.
Okay.
That's all we know.
And I have to assume, my theory is that
Which
it
is like-
happened between A New Hope and Empire.
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking about like an 8-year time frame
Yeah, I think it
between
happened.
Rebels and the show.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Well, was it part of Operation Cinder?
No.
No, it was before that, from what we understand.
I think all of the Cinder places are documented too. They know all the different places that Cinder hit. So, on an aside, I really hope we see that fucking character from Battlefront in Rangers of the New Republic. She would be a good one.
Eden Verso?
Iden
Yes.
Versio?
Yes. She'd be badass. And we know that the actress likes that role a lot, so. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. There's going to have to be a lot of questions answered in the next season. Which I'm assuming is going to be focused purely on Mandalorians at this point, right?
Somebody in the chat said earlier, I think the Grogu arc is done, and I think now we're going to get retaking Mandalore. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back as a badass. He's gonna save his ass.
I think he'll be back before the end of the next season.
It's already been rumored that there's a significant time jump between season 2 and 3.
I don't know how significant, but I think a good amount. Maybe
it sounds like
5 minutes,
couple years,
and then we're going to go directly into a Star Cruiser chase.
5 years?
I said 5 minutes. I was joking.
5 minutes.
It's Star Wars.
Making a bad Last Jedi joke.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. 5 years, 5 minutes. It's Star Wars. Time doesn't matter.
How does time work? How does time work in Star Wars?
Nobody knows.
It's gonna be.
Just go check the wiki afterwards, and somebody figured.
Somebody did a little bit of math, or there was a novelization released.
Yeah, or somebody put out an official timeline in the foreword of a novel and said this is when it happened.
4 years ago, they said a parsec was a unit of distance, and then 3 or 4 times in the canon since then, they've used that as a reference to time. So I don't even know. Nobody knows.
Well, a parsec is a unit of distance,
That's
for sure.
I understand, but they keep using it in reference to time, multiple times they've done it now. In Solo, they did it a bunch.
Well,
they did it. I think they did it in Mando, and then there was something else.
In Solo. It was a unit of distance. Solo.
He did it in fewer, in less distance because of the gravitational anomalies.
He basically used a shortcut that would have killed you. So that was why it was such a crazy thing.
Now you're gonna make me dig through canon references that have happened, but literally in the last couple of years, I've known a couple times, and I'm like, you're still using it wrong. We know we know what it is, and you're still using it wrong in canon references. So
Disney doesn't give a shit, and the creators don't know.
It's a joke at this point. They know it's a joke, so they're just messing around with it. It's not really that serious. It's just funny.
Did you watch the behind the scenes for season 2? The moment that has given me life is Favreau telling Filoni, it's we'll get Mando to say McClunky, and Filoni's face is just you want Mando to say McClunky?
Yes, I do. I want Mando to say McClunky now.
He was totally trolling him, though. That's totally what he was. Jabba's fucking with him, for sure.
They just saved it for the last...
I think Favreau wasn't actually going to fight for it, but genuinely wanted it to happen.
McClunky is in, that was, his, badass, McClunky. No. No, I'm on Dave's side with that definition.
I get it, but go back to the beginning of the stream and it would make people mad, and that is...
But I loved that Bib Fortuna said it when he died, because that was great. Or right before he died, or whatever. It was awesome. I was like, wait, did he just say McClunky? He sure fucking did. Yep. Alright, so hold on. Me?
People only say it right before they die, apparently. Greedo, Bib Fortuna.
That's how it should be said.
What does McClunky mean in Huttese?
They said, Favreau says what it means. It essentially means see ya, or some shit like that.
What?
Curtains. It means curtains.
Curtains.
It's Huttese for eat a dick.
But what about What's the one we kept saying for a while? Shit.
Ichuta.
Dank ferrets.
Ichuta.
Ichuta, basically fuck you.
But is it?
Pretty much.
I mean, yes.
Ichuta Mando.
It's
Ichuta
true.
Mando is like one of the first lines of
Mando? Yeah, that's
first
true.
season. Yeah.
And then in the droid, how rude. Okay. No, that one's legit. All right. So they're on the bridge. Gideon is like, ha ha ha. Now you have to fight each other. I'm a mustache twirling villain. I'm so smart. I know everything.
Mando goes all Jon Snow.
Yeah. It's like
I don't want it.
I don't want it. Don't want it.
Now we have him saying she's my queen.
Yeah, he's gonna look at Bo and just be like, "She's my queen."
Ship it.
Yes.
But listen, she is a fucking Disney princess now. And when Boba said it the second time,
Only to Boba.
it wasn't like an insult though. It seemed more like a term of endearment. So, I don't know. That second time when he was flying off, he was like, "Be careful."
I think that's more a callback to like,
Maybe.
hey, remember when I called you princess negatively? Now I'm calling you princess familiarly.
Oh, it's like when she used "This is the way" against Din, and the first time was shitty,
Yeah, it's
and
like
the second
friends-
time was not.
Each other.
Yeah. No, and they'll kiss at some point. No, it's we'll keep shipping that ship. It's okay. You think it was definitely an insult the first time, but I think the second time it wasn't. So we'll see. But they're all on the fucking bridge now, and of course I knew the second he airlocked those dark troopers, they were gonna be back.
Yeah, it turns out they can fly.
Like they fly.
That's where my feelings start.
They fly now?
yeah. I knew you were gonna do that.
But I was like, okay, this is where the New Republic is finally going to show up, or the other Mandalorians are going to show up, and I knew whatever Jedi was probably going to come to. But then there was like a single fucking X-wing, and it took me a minute until she
beautiful
said,
moment.
"One X-wing, great, we're saved," and then I was like, "One X-wing."
One Deus Ex Machina coming up. There you go.
It's time for fight with Nikki. Just
Oh no!
kidding.
Oh no!
But I said, and you know, I guess I did this to myself in a way, because when I told my husband Boba Fett was gonna come back and he was gonna be a badass, and it happened, I was pretty insufferable to him for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was the one who's like, "It's gonna be fucking Luke," and I was like, "There is no fucking way in hell it's gonna be Luke."
I'm excited it was Luke. I feel like Luke was an okay choice. Like if
Luke was the right choice.
He
like,
was
Luke
the
is
right
choice that
choice.
makes the most sense.
When I saw it happen, and I started crying, I was like, "Fine,
I
this
teared
is
up.
good. My husband's gonna be insufferable after this," and he was for a while. He's like, "It was, haha!" He literally danced around me in a circle. So it's like I deserve that. But yeah, I was like, "Holy shit, they did it! They used Luke." What the?
which means if somebody in the crew had just taken a fucking bathroom break for 10 minutes before they went on that mission, they would have like just shown up and Luke would have taken care of everything.
Yep. They wouldn't have had to be there.
They would have
at
just
all.
walked in. Luke's got the Darksaber. Everybody's dead. He's got Grogu on his hip. He's like, "Oh, you're the dad. Nice to meet you, Master Skywalker."
But you know what? All right, so he fucking. Well, first of all, that fucking hallway scene was just.
Oh,
It's better than all the hallway scenes in Daredevil.
Yes. I think the only hallway scene that's better than that is Rogue One Vader. I mean, that one's just.
I keep on seeing the
Oh,
gif,
the best part of Rogue
the
One.
gif of it side by side.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was like a homage. It was great, but. Man, he just.
It was cool.
But he gets to the bridge, though. How does Cara Dune not know who he is? Does she know
She
who
does.
he is?
That's why they never. That's why they never show her after he shows up.
She would have said something.
She knows-
Like, "Oh shit, General
She knows
Skywalker."
of him,
Like,
and she has to know of him. Like, I mean, they've had enough run-ins this season. I guess Kara hasn't been there for most of them, though, that she shouldn't be surprised. But she has to know of him.
That also brings up the question. You would think everybody'd be like, oh, General Skywalker blew up the Death Star again. He's a Jedi. Like, you think there would be this more, like, vaster cultural knowledge of what Jedi are just because the guy who blew up the Death Star has a laser sword.
And there is in the comics after, like, there's one comic arc that takes place right after that and is about Poe Dameron's parents and stuff like that, and they are all starting to recognize Jedi.
Which means, like, whenever Mando is first, like, to Cara, like, oh, I have to bring him to his people, I have to bring him to the Jedi, she'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, the general dude, he's a Jedi. Like, that.
Yeah.
And I just figured they weren't bringing Luke in, but then it's like, no, we are bringing Luke in, we're just not addressing his larger position in the galaxy.
I mean, it could just be that she was such a low-level grunt and not a pilot flyboy that maybe she knew him as General Skywalker but has no idea about the Jedi part or any of that stuff.
I just don't see how the rumors about, like, this dude can move shit with his mind, like, you feel like that would get around.
It's a big rebellion. Like, I can see how, like, not everyone would hear that, but I just think the minute that she hears him say, I'm Luke Skywalker, she would be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
Infinite G.
Yeah.
Infinite G in the chat said, what if Bo had said, hey, when you said, I am Luke Skywalker, if Bo had said, oh, I knew your dad.
Well, and how cool would that have been for Luke to have someone be like, you're Anakin Skywalker's son? Like, that would have been...
Joe, you weren't here yet.
It would. I mean, Grogu probably would have been like,
no, I'm not going with him.
Been like, I'm not going. No,
his daddy
I know how
my friends.
I think I know why they didn't do that. Is probably because they didn't want to take away from the emotional impact of, hey, Luke is here. We're going to also have him take Grogu away.
Yeah. No, I think they wanted that to be the focus. I mean, that's why I don't think they ever said his name. And to be fair, I think a part of the reason that also happened is I don't think they almost pulled the switcheroo on a lot of people working on the show, maybe. Almost like what they did in Empire Strikes Back, where nobody knew what the actual line was when Vader said, I'm your father. I don't think that maybe a lot of the crew knew who the stand-in was for. Like, I don't think they knew it was Luke. Maybe not.
I don't know. It's a pretty telltale
That's probably how they kept it a secret.
I mean, the costume and the green. I mean, anybody who was fucking working on that shit would probably know. But you know, I don't know. It's yeah.
It's funny. It's funny seeing Nikki walk through Steve's screen to her own screen.
She's just gonna be walking behind everybody else's screens from now on. We're just gonna see her pop up right behind Stacy just a few minutes.
That'd be really funny, actually. Like a running gag.
Would it be like Brady Bunch, or is that maybe too far back of a reference? I don't know.
We millennials, we have never heard of such a term as the Brady Brunch.
The Brady Bunch, yeah.
The Brady Brunch?
Brady Brunch.
Is this like a
Brady Brunch?
I can go for brunch. Who wants brunch? Mimosas.
I miss brunch. What is brunch?
Anyway, I'm gonna keep yelling about this. I don't know where the conversation went while I was gone, but I'm still mad, and I'm getting madder.
That it was Luke?
Well, just that it was the way Luke was addressed. And also, what that episode really needed was to be about 20 minutes longer, and it needed to start with them already having the plan and being about to go onto the ship. Like, it should have been the rescue, and they should have, like, had the team together already, had the plan, had everything, and then just, like, narratively, you just, like, go into it.
I
don't know. The bar scene is pretty great, though.
It is great. It just needs to be in another episode.
I feel like you could just amend that to every episode needs to be about 20 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would help.
And
you don't have to worry about that.
I mean, my degree is in writing, and structurally, I could not stand the plot points of that episode. It was like
You think it would have been better if they had ended the episode before, not just like flying off after Mayfield, but like going to the cantina and doing that first scene in that episode?
I don't know how I would have done it. Like, it would have had to be restructuring different, like a couple of different episodes. And I actually do think structure, like, of individual episodes is one of the weakest parts of the show.
I do think some of the episodes are paced weird.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Also, I think my husband brought it up to me, but the second episode of the season was to me my least favorite because, well, giant spider, fucking ice spider things. But beyond that, because it didn't seem like it did a lot for the story, but it was actually really important because it showed that X-Wings are always at least in pairs.
That's a good point.
You know, it was like a weird, like, little exposition, like a little bit of foreshadowing.
And I think it added a lot to the theme of really the entire, like, both the seasons of parenthood and protecting your kids.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it did further the thing.
It's definitely the episode that doesn't further the plot a whole lot, but it's still a good episode. Like,
it's actually
they were like, hey, we're gonna do a horror episode, and this is the one. Like, here you go. And they did it good. It
was good.
It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite at all. You know, that episode
my
with...
second least favorite.
The episode
Toro
with Mithril exists.
Oh, the one that,
Carl
Weathers directed. I love that one.
So,
I don't.
And it's because that entire episode feels like I should be sitting in a Star Tours.
That was made for Rise of the Resistance.
That's
going to be the new theme of it.
Like,
that's a good point.
The scene where they go over the ledge feels like you should be in a Star Tours thing.
Admiral Jeff Blue Jeans.
I would have rather him than Mithril. Like, take Mithril out of the episode entirely, and anytime he's going to say something, you just have a guy around the corner wearing blue jeans, and that would improve the episode for me so much.
You really hate Mithril, don't you?
I do.
I want to get back to how they handled the end of the episode and what we're talking about with them not addressing Kara knowing him or Bo or any of those scenarios or him telling him, you know, I'm Luke Skywalker, whatever. I think
I'm here the rest of you.
I think the one thing. Oh yeah, the one thing that I think I've done enough sequels bashing lately. Like, I don't need to do that anymore. But I think we can be confident, at least at this point, with who's running the show and who's writing it, that we know they had the discussions that we're having now. They had the discussion about, okay, Kara should know this guy. Bo-Katan, if he says his name, you know, I know this guy's dad. Like, they discussed all of these things, and they decided, hey, we're not going to address that at this point in the episode because that's not where our focus should be. Once he arrives and enters the room, the entire focus is going to be on Din, the child, and him, and that mood and that feeling, because all those other things become secondary at that point to the viewer. And I'm not saying there's ways it could have been done that would have helped a little bit, but it does take that focus away if they do that, and I think overall that's why they made the decision that they made.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I feel like there's other solutions to that. Maybe Mando and Grogu aren't on the bridge anymore. Maybe the thing with Luke Skywalker happens with it just being them. Like, there's some very easy story fixes that could have just improved the episode. And I have a theory that if I ever asked Dave Filoni, what are your theories on the season finale of season 2, he would make a face and not say anything.
He'd say interesting.
But also, I think everybody was just, it's Luke Skywalker. And, like, I know the OT. The OT is not why I love Star Wars. I enjoy Luke Skywalker as a character, but I'm not getting the same nostalgia hit watching that scene. I was, like, a little bored. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Okay, we're still doing this. Oh, the music is wrong. Why is the music like this? This is the wrong Mandalorian music.
I loved it.
But it's going on so long, and it doesn't really fit the tone of the rest of it.
Yeah. No, I get it. As a point of view.
So
I love the music because it was so mysterious.
I wish it had been shorter, and I wish it had incorporated more of the sounds we're used to hearing in the Mando. It was too John Williams for me for too long.
It's true. It was the most throwback that Ludwig's done in everything. With the exception of, I think on the Ahsoka episode, there was some...
Okay, that's fair in the chat. Like, Luke Skywalker, Jedi Demigod, which is what I've been waiting for since I heard there'd be a sequel movie, and this is finally the payoff. That, I get that, absolutely, but I'm not in that camp. And so speaking as a fan who fell in love with the video games and who enjoys the sequels and who, like doesn't have all these feelings wrapped up in Luke Skywalker, I'm just...
The only Jedi I think I would have been more excited to see would have been Ezra.
I wanted Joris Cabal.
Yeah. What do you want?
Well, I know.
Steve?
I mean, Nikki wanted Mace Windu, so
yeah.
I wanted Ezra. But
no,
Luke made me cry.
It's going to turn out that's not Luke, it's Luke. And
Look.
that's going to tie into when Thrawn shows up in Ahsoka.
Yeah. No, I mean, we know Ezra will come back. He's not gone. We'll see him. It's going to be in there at some point. I never thought we'd see Luke again in anything. So that's why I think I got so emotional seeing it, was because I didn't think that they were going to go there. Like, I thought they were going to leave those characters off the table. But they did it. And the first time I saw it, I didn't let the weird de-aging bother me that much. But then I saw how somebody deep-faked it and it looked so much better. I'm like, why couldn't that have happened? That looks way better. The Uncanny Valley was too uncanny in that one.
Like, I get what Nocturnal and Infinite G are both saying, and, like, them wanting that Luke Skywalker Jedi demigod. But one of my friends has said in the past that Luke Skywalker is essentially a Jedi Jesus in the EU. Like,
yeah.
He can do no wrong. And even when he fails, it's just really small. Except for that time the entire Jedi Order gets outlawed. But, like...
I read a good thread on Twitter about why that scene and showing him like this made what happened to him in the sequel trilogy a lot more impactful. Better. Yeah, it does. And I think Filoni's going to do what he did with the prequels, and he's going to fix the sequels on the front end with his shit. So, I mean, and that's okay. I think they need to do that because a lot of fans feel betrayed by what happened to Luke in those movies. So,
talking about using the chalk zone to fix the sequels, which, as long as you keep the characters, I am fine, actually, if they do something to retcon parts of the sequels, as long as you keep the characters, because just Rey was so great, and Finn, and Poe, and Kylo, of course, and just, they wasted that cast.
There's potential there, but it got wasted, yeah.
Yes. It was very, I'm like, and I'm not, like, I don't know, maybe it comes from my background as a storyteller and writing crazy, long, interlocking plots for thousands of people, but, like, there's just no connectivity between those stories, and it drives me crazy. Like, it just sucks, like, for that reason. Bobby Frick! Hey!
I was gonna sit down and watch prequels, OT sequels. I would sit down and watch sequels. Like, I like it. I think the lightsaber duels are the best.
They are really fucking great.
If I'm going to throw in a Star Wars movie, it's always Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is still one of my favorites.
I think Revenge of the Sith is the easiest watching movie. Like, you can sit down and watch Revenge of the Sith, and it's a good popcorn movie. There's very little, like, I'm going to be in tears by the end of it every time.
That's why Steve's my boyfriend.
To be fair, though, Return of the Jedi is actually my favorite.
Yeah, but who's got the ring, Joe?
Original.
Who's got
the ring? Yeah, I think Filoni and Favreau are going to do a lot with all these shows that they're putting together. I think it's going to be the prelude to the sequels, and maybe it'll fix some things, and maybe whatever Patty Jenkins has coming after, which is in theory the next in the timeline, will make things cohesive again. I don't know.
We've got 30 years to fill. We got a lot of space to work with.
I know. It's true. But yeah, I really wish they could have fixed Luke's CGI just a little bit. The Uncanny Valley was kind of... I mean, but I'm so glad it was him. I thought, if anything, they'd get Sebastian Stan. He had...
I know. I was thinking
that way.
Really?
It tells me that it's not...
Tarkin looks wet.
It tells me that it will not be a recurring role. That's why they didn't get an actor for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will be either. I think Grogu will return to Din by the end of season 3.
I think, yeah, that sounds... You think 4?
You don't think we'll see him at all next season? Because if I was Din, I'd be like calming Luke like every day. Be like, how's my son doing?
No,
Did he eat
because
his vegetables? Don't
Din
let him eat frogs.
clean break, and he's going to pretend that he never had feelings for... He's going to pretend that he was not a father to him.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons he had to be in that room when Luke showed up. He had to be around other people for everyone else to have seen him take his helmet off.
Yeah, because that was such a thing.
Have that
was a great moment.
Oh my god, I cried so much. I was just a baby.
The music killed it for me. Again, I know we keep going back to the music, but the music killed it for me.
His little
I was just like, oh.
His little, it's like, oh, that's the first living thing that's touched his face in like forever.
He was like 11.
Oh.
Since that Twi'lek.
You know he left the helmet on for that.
He left everything on for that.
He was wearing the helmet.
I'm gonna
she like reached her hand up in there.
No way.
She did.
He didn't even take his armor off. He just unzipped, and that was it.
I'm gonna die mad that Jon Favreau made me ask myself the question, wait, does he fucking armor? Like...
He does. He does.
I pulled fellow Mandos on this, and it is not as weird as we think it is. I'm not in that crowd. I want to make it clear I'm not in that group, but apparently it's not that uncommon. So
if 2 Mandos do it, that's called trade in paint.
It would incur some weathering and battle damage.
That sounds so uncomfortable. I can't imagine. I can't even sit in my armor.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I don't think I could like kiss. Like if Steve and I were both wearing armor, I don't think we could physically get close enough to like kiss. Like I don't think that could happen.
I don't think I would want to. Like. We're both really sweaty when we wear that.
It's true. It's a fucking hot mess under there. So yeah. But anyway,
okay, I want to
everything
get
but
to
the helmet.
No.
See, no, then that just breaks my rule of like I have very strict rules on the order that like clothes go on in.
This is a thing in our house.
Steve told me this.
Well, and then Steve brought up the question at one point. He's like, so at what step do masks go on it? Like, where do masks go in your, like, hierarchy of clothing? Which I'm like, we don't have to worry about that until, like, he was COVID positive and I wasn't, and we're wearing masks in the house, and he's like, no, I need to know.
It turns out Porky Pig in it is not acceptable.
Ooh, yeah, no. What are you printing?
A torso of a pit droid.
Ooh. Also, it is a sweaty universe, and that's why I have to add it was fucking hilarious when Mayfield's like, oh, his gloves are wet, because that was... Any Star Wars cosplayer, we're like, oh, yep, I get that.
I love the behind-the-scenes scenes where they're not wearing gloves, helmets, or gauntlets.
Yep.
The 3 things that come off first.
Yep.
You throw it all in your helmet, and then you do like the Mando walk back to the hotel room, because depending on where you're at, people are like, oh, can I get a picture?
It's guaranteed someone is going to stop you and ask for a picture. And you're like, half
your stuff is, yep, no.
You met with somebody who was Jango Fett, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Jango Fett. I'm like, I need to go. Like, you can take a picture with them, fine. I'm done.
Okay.
I am
Alright,
not out of character until I'm back in the hotel room.
You're a brave soul.
No, I don't have.
I have drinking to do, but not on MMCC time. Anyway, but this is not an MMCC stream. So anyway,
Except for Dragon Con.
Nope, you don't drink in Kit.
that's true.
Except at Dragon Con.
I hypothetically did that once.
At least 2 people in this chat witnessed that.
Are you want to talk about the post creds? Is that what you're waiting to talk about, Joe?
No, your Ivana asked a question a while ago in the chat that I said we would get to.
Oh, all right.
And it was, what happens when Din goes back to the other Mandalorians?
Oh, well.
Shit goes down.
That's a little complicated.
That's when you find out the armorer is not a good guy.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be like episode 1 or 2 of season 3.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be. I think, though, but it goes back to before, like, especially because I'm doubling down that that's Rookcast. But I've been so wrong about some things. So, I think it's Rookcast, and I don't think she would have fucking sent him to get a Jedi if she didn't know what was going to happen.
Do we want to add that to the long-term bets box?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll throw down on that
We need
one.
to find the long-term bet box. I don't remember where I put it.
I'm going to have my conspiracy board at some point before the next season airs. So, I think that season 3 is going to be all the Mando factions. We're going to see all of them. Everyone that's left.
Do you think we're gonna see Mandalore Din? And do we want to see Mandalore Din?
I want
Bo
I
to be
do.
Mandalore.
Bo is
I
my
want
queen.
it to become Mandalore.
Bo is
You
my
saw
queen.
that concept armor I shared.
it is.
Like,
It is
I'm
beautiful.
okay with it if that's what happens, but I want Bo to be Mandalore.
Yeah.
I think she's
I still
lost
think
the
she's gonna
right.
die.
I think she's lost the right because she lost the saber.
We don't know
It's kinda
what
like
the
with the
circumstances of that were.
Until we know how
That's
that
true.
happens, then I'm not gonna deem her unworthy. But it's true. Like
I
when
don't
Nocturnal
know.
Alchemy says she wants it too much, it's true. I think she was a better leader probably when she didn't want it. But that's what we're talking about. The best leaders are the ones that don't want to be leaders, and that's why Din would probably make a great Mandalore.
Din hasn't really shown any leadership qualities.
Maybe
a
this is the
lone
Oh,
season
that's not
to see.
true.
But he has a little bit. Like the season 1, episode 4, where he's training the town to fight back.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
See, that to me felt
That's the
less
one.
like a leader and more like those stepfather vibes.
I mean, it's the little things.
Yeah,
He would have to grow into it more. Like
He would,
He
like, I
united
could
the
see
town and the Tuskens, though.
the Tuskens.
Like he united the people who hated each other for a common goal, and he did it pretty easily.
That's a good point. I would definitely need to see him if they're going to set him up to be Mandalore. I would have to see an entire season of him learning to be a leader.
Maybe
Which
that's
I
this
think
season.
would happen. I think he's, even if he doesn't end up being Mandalore, I think he's a key factor in uniting the factions of Mandalore, though.
Doc
I think
Geo
so.
said he does know how to make a phone call when he needs to. That's for sure. Hey Kara, hey Bo, hey Boba. Like, they're playing the hits, man.
I think he's gonna end up wooing the Children of the Watch somehow. And I think it's gonna be because the Armorer did this purposefully. Maybe she knew that they can't survive the way that they've been going.
I think she's the most
I-
fanatical fanatic.
And we're going to see a conflict there.
Man, but I
Yeah.
don't think she would have sent him out to do that if she didn't know what was gonna happen.
I think
How is she going to know that
did
he's
it
going to
because-
fall in love with a kid and take his helmet off to say goodbye? Like that.
I don't think cultists think logically.
And well, that's also true. I mean, all right, if we want to go into it, like how deep into a cult are they? But if she's recast, then her and Bo have a history.
The show hasn't respected any characters with a history. Why is that going to start now?
That's the only interesting part to me of it being recast is what it means between her and Bo. But I don't think there has been enough time from Rookcast to go to, hey Darth Maul, I'll help you do whatever you need to do to rule Mandalore, to don't take your helmet off. Like I don't
If they're all
She went from-
they're all fugitives.
I honestly think that the Children of the Watch spun off from the Death Watch before that.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. I think it happened around the siege, but I either think it happened right after Maul took over or after the siege itself. So, we'll
Okay,
see.
I gotta take off.
Having emerged from Maul's Mandalorians.
Later,
yeah,
buddy.
see, that's why I think it was Rook. But we'll see. Goodbye, Joe. But you're gonna miss the last. All right, hold on. Quick, Book of
Yeah.
Boba. Book of Boba.
Claire's watching Harry Potter for the first time, so I promised I'd go watch.
Okay, go.
I miss Bear.
That's
No,
important.
Let's go. Book of Boba. What do you want me to say?
No, say. What do you think? What's gonna fucking happen? Warlord of Tatooine. What?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I think the reason that they're doing it before Mando Season 3 is because they need to get some stuff in that will eventually tie in.
Yep. I
But,
agree.
I mean, the only really thing I want to say is, I mean, Boba's back, and he's like a thing, and he has his own show, and he's awesome, so suck it, haters. That's all I got.
All right, Joe. Have a good
Oh,
one,
you're
man.
gonna miss our
guys.
scheduled Daniel Logan shit talking.
Maybe he'll.
Oh, well,
for that.
Steve will defend me. You don't want me to do that, because I'll be really bad. I'll be really bad.
All right,
Daniel
bro.
Logan's never going to do anything ever again in Star Wars, and that makes me happy. All right, bye, guys.
And I missed all that right as I get back in. Okay.
All right.
My signal.
Oh, it's all right. You're good. You'll pop in and out. My camera glitched for half of this, so technical difficulties are allowed. Book of fucking Boba.
I have something.
Oh, what?
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
About Book of Boba. I think we're going to see Hondo come into live action.
Yes.
He's the only good weak way.
No, the bartender is cool.
I want Hondo and I want some Cad Bane, but the Cad Bane is for very personal reasons.
I think Cad Bane's gonna end up in Bad Batch.
I
Yeah,
think so
I
too.
wouldn't be
And I think they're
shocked
going
about
to recanonize that video that we saw of Boba versus Cad.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
there's
that'd
gonna
be
be a lot of wrap up in that show. I mean, that's definitely like the follow up to Clone Wars.
So- I would say, like, Book of Boba, what I want more than anything, which is so silly, I want him to go to Nar Shaddaa. I've always loved Nar Shaddaa. I want it in live
Give me live
action.
action Nar Shaddaa, please.
And man, they could do
Totally.
it so good in the volume. Oh yeah, no,
I
I'm
mean, like,
about
I'm
that.
not even gonna waste a wish on anything else for Book of Boba. Like, I'm happy it's happening. I'm not, like, I just want Nar Shaddaa.
It's just really funny because
And
it was
And
back.
there's a legit reason, like, in universe, why he would need to go there, because it's right by Nal Hutta, and he just took over Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
So to
for
help
sure.
solidify his power base, him going to Nar Shaddaa and then Nal Hutta makes total sense.
Yep. And it's really funny because in SWTOR, when we had the Mandalorian guild on the roleplay server, like, Nar Shaddaa was our base. So I love that planet. I fucking love it. So I was just like, first of all, Ted saw this, but we were on the video call right after the episode ended, and I didn't know there was a post-credit scene. And all of a sudden, like, wait,
No.
it's a post-credit scene! And they got to see me see it in real time. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just like, my face was like, what? And
Yeah.
that
I
was-
just, like, and Fennec was so cool.
I love her.
my God.
I knew that she was going to be back, and I'm so glad she is back, and that they're going to do so much with her. But, yeah, like,
I mean, somebody brought up in the chat, like, Fennec is going to be in Bad Batch.
Yes.
That might be that connecting thread between Bad Batch and the Book of Boba Fett.
yep,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And I think some of those clones, I heard rumors that Bo-Katan might be in it. Like, I think we might see really what happened to Mandalore after all that stuff went down at some point. I think that might be where we find out about a lot of it.
So, have you seen the thing floating around that was that the chair apparently says Boba's name on it?
Yes, I saw that they translated it. So, is it because they just didn't know what to put on it, and so they did that because they're like, "That's the name of the
Could be
show.
a
Let's
wink.
put it on there." Or is it because, like, literally he was ruling that, and then something happened, and Bib like took him out.
It could have something to do with what happened after Jabba died.
Right. Like, did he come back and was immediately ruling that shit, and then Bib did something to him, took his seat?
Bib Fortuna taking out Boba Fett somehow just doesn't seem realistic, though.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Like he would have had somebody else do something.
I honestly think we're reading into it too much. I think it's just a wink.
Yeah, that was my thought when I saw that it translated. I'm like, I think they just did that because they wanted a cool prop for the show, but they also might have did it to fuck with us because they know we were going to translate it, like, within a week. And they'd be like, what does it say?
Well, I mean,
I'm
like,
hoping
the
it
thing
turns
with
out
the
to be
Luke
nothing.
Skywalker, like, the opening crawl around the Death Star exploding, like, nobody's supposed to read that and be like, oh, well, that's supposed to be in universe. I think that's more of a wink, too.
Yeah. Which was funny, though. I mean, that's, like, totally
Yeah.
the HoloNet report that went out around the galaxy. Yeah. It reminded me a lot of the intros to Clone Wars, where they had the whole, like, what sounded like a HoloNet report. So...
Right. Yeah.
That made me think of that. But I love that shit when he just came in there. It's like, Boba, you're so glad you're alive.
McClunky.
You know what I saw? Oh,
hey, but going back to my thoughts about Hondo coming back, I think we're gonna seriously see that relationship because again, like he had interacted with Jango in the past too. So like are we gonna see more of Jango come out?
They have. I mean, if he can't be in the costume, yeah, Jim Cummings has to be the voice.
Oh yeah, I think he could totally be on board.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
They do have the costume for him. We've seen it.
Yeah, exactly. And it would tie into Galaxy's Edge. We know he's alive in Galaxy's Edge.
Well, because they had like the opening of Galaxy's Edge or whatever Disney event that they had. They had a dude dressed as Hondo come out on stage and literally
I didn't know that.
Shit. Oh yeah, it was cool.
The animatronic at Galaxy's Edge is gorgeous.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
it
actually is.
They learned a lot doing that. The Avatar animatronics in it, and then build off from that.
So funny to think about how Galaxy's Edge wouldn't exist without that weird ass Pandora world.
Which to me, like the movie was like it was neat at the time, okay, but like basically like the land in Animal Kingdom is really all that's left of it, and it's a cool looking place.
There are 2 or 3 sequels planned, and no one I know wants them.
I know.
Like,
but they're gonna make a ton of money.
We've been waiting for like 10 years.
It's been a long time.
Who's been waiting? Who cares?
It's really pretty.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, if we were waiting, we would be doing that.
The only thing I remember of that movie is they called the little lizards that like spun around in circles rafflecopters. That's what they did. Like, look at the rafflecopters. Oh, but yeah. No, I mean, they got so much cool shit that they can do. Definitely, I mean, if Cad Bane's still alive in that era, then it could be that we see him in Book of Boba Fett.
I really hope I don't. I really hope he dies in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I think he's gonna die in Bad Batch.
Yeah, I think they'll finally have that duel. It's possible.
I don't know, maybe
because I feel like he's much more of a prequel villain than he is a sequel or original trilogy villain.
It's true. He was very tied to that. But I think, but I agree with you, Steve. Like, that was my thought, too, of why Boba was going to come first. That basically he's going to do his whole Warlord at Tatooine bit, and maybe it doesn't work out. And he discovers in the end that he needs to go and do the Mandalorian thing after all. Like, that's kind of where I think it's going. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? But I definitely think that it's going to lead into the next Mandalorian season, whenever the fuck that is. I feel sad. I feel like they pulled one over on us.
Yeah,
like, I know they didn't want to like announce that the Boba show was coming, but when it first came, the teaser came out, I'm like, oh, that means we're gonna get Boba, and immediately after we're gonna get the next Mandalorian season. It's gonna be like amazing. It's gonna be like 16 weeks of fucking shit.
Yeah, I was excited about it.
And it's delayed now too because of Ahsoka. Because Filoni's reading Ahsoka.
Yeah, but I
I'm
think
gonna
they were
trust that
doing
when
it.
it's official. Like, I know Filoni's working on Ahsoka, but Ahsoka also like isn't supposed to come out till like 2022 or 2023.
And it's a
I
limited
wanna say.
series. It's also not necessarily going to have as many episodes, or it's only going to be one season.
And well, actually, can we talk about the other stuff that was announced on the
Yeah,
investor call?
absolutely.
Lando.
Oh, I know. To be fair, I'm really hoping it's the Calrissian Chronicles, and I hope
I
they-
want it to be
I'm
Calrissian
super excited.
Chronicles.
Bring back the kid who was doing his best Han Solo impression.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
Anthony
Alden.
Ingruber?
No, Alden.
Oh, Alden. Well, Alden Ehrenreich was the guy who
In
did it in Solo, but,
Right.
Right.
but Anthony Ingruber was the one who did the impression that was really good.
Nah, keep the continuity. Keep
You
it
have
as
to
Alden.
keep
Yeah,
that continuity.
like as terrible, like not as mediocre of a Han Solo as he was.
You know, and I think he was just so mediocre because everybody around him was just so perfect, and he
Well,
wasn't.
I think
He's
everybody,
the worst
ar-
actor in the movie is the problem.
I
Yeah.
think everybody around him were making characters their own, and he's like, "I'm Harrison Ford."
I really wanted it to be Zac Efron.
No joke.
I
I
think
thought
he
he would
could've-
do
I
a
could've-
great job with
The
the
role.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
If you see him in things that aren't High School Musical, he actually has kind of blossomed into a decent actor.
He was like the best part of The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, but the last thing I watched him in was the Ted Bundy thing.
I could see how that might color your perspective a bit.
I-
It was
Yeah.
What, you don't want to get like all hot and bothered over serial killers? You have a problem with that?
it was either him or
I mean, is Boba Fett a serial killer?
probably.
I mean,
I think we're all pretty hot and bothered over that.
I don't think he's a serial killer. A mass murderer? Yes.
I don't get hot and bothered over Boba Fett. We go back to my personal reasons in Cad Bane.
No, I want the Calrissian Chronicles, and I just want like it to sort of be the sequel to Solo we're never gonna get.
Yes.
That is, but told from Lando's perspective.
Yes.
So like all of this stuff that Han's known for or whatever, I want Lando to be downplaying Han's role in it. And
And I want it to be like Donald Glover as Lando, but I want it
Yes.
to be narrated
The voice.
by Billy.
narrated by Billy Dee.
Oh, that would be
True.
so cool.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So it's like him telling like his younger stories, so it would be from his point of view, right?
Like, you know what? Go all the way. Make this like How I Met Your Mother and have what's her face from
the daughter, yeah,
the daughter.
Naomi, right? Naomi Aki.
Right.
That was
Because
I can't remember.
I
her-
forgot.
It turns out that somehow Lando ran into his missing daughter perfectly.
The Force
in this
works in
giant
mysterious
galaxy.
ways, Steve.
3 black people in the movie are related.
Don't forget, that's after Luke stranded him at Burning Man for 30 years.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
and my
really-
phone died.
That's like the best fucking explanation of what happened ever, by the way.
Just hanging out at Space
where
Burning
would
Man.
Lando end up after all this? At stoned at Space Burning Man, and he just fucking stays there. He's just like, you know what? I found my people.
Like,
That's the midlife crisis Lando right there.
I know we have a lot of sequel bashing that goes on in here, as well as some sequel defending. Bringing Lando in as the code breaker that they don't get in The Last Jedi is a much better way of
Yeah,
introducing him for
That
later.
whole
movies.
fucking shit. That's what kills me about that movie the most. Is that whole sequence just could have been so much better if it had some connective tissue, some meaning, some recognizable aliens in the goddamn casino. Even.
I've got strong feelings about that entire subplot, and
Yeah,
it is
no.
the
we
reason
could've
that
just
movie is bad, as far as I'm
gotten rid of it.
concerned.
The last time I watched it, we just sat down and literally fast forwarded through everything that wasn't Rey and Kylo, and it was a much more enjoyable movie.
Yeah. Well, Lando's gonna be the shit. I'm excited for that. And they didn't specify when that was gonna happen. So it's very likely that it could be what we're talking about.
They also didn't specify that it was live action necessarily,
I know,
but I'm
that was the
really
other
hoping
thing. I
it
was like,
is.
What I'm super pumped for is the Acolyte.
That one's
That
gonna be
looks like it's
cool,
gonna
but is
be
that
cool.
live action? Because we don't know that either. That was
I don't think
another
we
one
know.
we weren't
I don't think
sure.
we know anything.
We know it's set at the end of the High Republic, which is within like 50 years of
What is up with this High Republic novel
Okay.
that is just going to be published in China?
Oh, I think they're trying to. So China actually doesn't have
Nothing
a lot of
good.
Star Wars fans. Surprisingly, right? Like it's actually not very popular there at all. And they're trying to, draw them in, I
Disney
guess.
does like courting their human rights violations.
Well, yeah, that's a whole
Disney
nother.
does like violating human rights.
But I think part of the reason is why it was never popular there is because the themes of the original Star Wars are not something that the government there really wants to popularize. So I think they're trying to like ease its way in, and who knows what will happen after that. But yeah, it's weird. But I finally understand the High Republic as a concept, and I wasn't. Before I was just like, what the fuck is the point of this? Okay, but hear me out, okay? I'm a big Western fan. Westerns traditionally are the time period after the Civil War. So basically, the country's no longer at war anymore. It's technically a time of peace and exploration. And that is basically what this is. They are in no wars, and they're exploring.
I'm really excited for it. I love the character designs we've seen so far. I really think
Infinite G, don't do me like that.
No, I mean, we might see
Acolyte
Plagueis
to
at
be
the
a
end,
young
but-
Plagueis. That's
what I want. Thank you.
No.
I wanted to tie to Bane. I wanted to tie to the Rule of Two. I wanted to tie to all that shit.
I mean, y'all know what I want from it.
It is supposed to end the High Republic era and lead directly into the prequels.
Which would mean Plagueis. Yeah.
Which could mean Plagueis. It could mean
Sheev.
Palpatine.
Yeah, I was gonna say young Sheev.
Oh my god.
The Acolyte, Sheev.
Oh. Okay, no, I could get behind that.
You just
Holy
cast a
cow, my
young
printer.
Ian McDermott.
I watched the Lego holiday special on Christmas. That's how I started my Christmas in quarantine, and that is my favorite Palpatine ever.
It was really cute. I really liked it. I was like, what are they doing here? But I actually really liked it.
My favorite Palpatine is still what the fuck is an aluminum falcon.
You know what? I think the Mandalorian Boba Fett is now my favorite Boba Fett, whereas before that it was the robot chicken. Like, as far as I was concerned, that was canon Boba Fett. Everything else could get fucked.
Oh, the mobile team, the team for the mobile game Galaxy of Heroes released designs for the Acolyte at the same time as characters from the Sith Empire and the Old Republic. Huh.
We got links on that? I want to see that.
Yeah,
weird.
find me the links. I haven't seen that. I mean,
Because I know they said that it's at the end of the High Republic, which is supposed to be only like 50 years before Phantom Menace. Or
I'm
something
guessing
like
it's
that.
within 100 to 50 years before. But I was hoping it would be a little further back, but I guess we'll see. I wanted to
too.
see like Bane stuff, the Rule of Two.
I want Old Republic. Like, I want them
them
to
to
go
I do.
back.
I do, but I don't. Like I do.
I do, but they're gonna fuck it up, so I don't. I would rather exist in purgatory forever.
But did you see the designs that they put out for Rise of Skywalker? They had all the Old Republic Sith Lords on a pillar in the art for Exegol. There was Revan on there. There was Nihilus. There was fucking
It could
Malik.
be so good.
Yeah, no, I was just like, what? They're there on this pillar. Why didn't we see that in the movie? I mean, it's just, but anyway. Yeah, it could be
Because Disney
awesome.
doesn't love us.
For the same reason that the beginning of Rise of Skywalker is taking place just outside Vader's castle.
And we don't know it's Vader's fucking castle because they couldn't just
Until
pan
you
out
read the
and show
fucking
us
visual
fucking
dictionary,
Vader.
because
Yeah, I know.
for some reason it's just
I know.
not something they want to show us.
Why couldn't they just go, whoop, and there's the castle? you know.
Well, that's actually one of my favorite Star Wars moments in recent years was doing the, what was it?
The Void?
The Void. Doing the Void.
I really wanted to do that. Is it really good?
It was so fun. Well,
It's not long enough.
it's not long enough. The tech is really cool. The tech is still obviously super glitchy, but it was... My favorite part was you end it and you're in like this escape pod and you're looking out and you see like the hyperspace field and you're just standing at this window going, oh my god, I'm on a space station. And then I lifted my helmet, like everything turned off, everything went dark. I lifted my helmet up and I'm like this close to a wall. Like my nose could have touched.
Well, there's this moment right at the beginning of it when Cassian Andor is actually giving you your mission. And he's just like, they've been taking artifacts to Mustafar. We don't know what's on Mustafar. And Nikki just goes, I know what's on Mustafar.
Yeah, that's what I'd be like. I know what's there. You don't want to go there. It's danger there. That's
like,
cool.
For the point of the chat, I am a huge Vader fangirl. Like,
She's
I know.
Also afraid of him.
Oh yes, like Vader cosplayers scare the shit out of me. I can't stand next to them. Like, my anxiety kicks in. I have to take a couple steps back, and they're like, "Oh, Nikki likes Vader. I'm just gonna come up over to her." I'm like, Mm-mm. Don't do that.
I love it. I want to do it. Hopefully, when all this COVID nonsense is over, it will still be at Disney Springs, and I could try it. But
You know, of all the things that you could do safely in COVID, like obviously, nothing is safe, but.
yeah. Yeah, but I would have to have someone to watch my kids. And
I will watch your children. I have spent 10 years in childcare at this point.
That's true, but you
I
have
won't.
not met my son Caleb Rex. He is the worst. And I mean that in a way that I love, but he is the worst.
No, I used to work at a daycare for rich parents. I've got some stories.
Yeah. Oh, I do need to go to Atlanta, John. I know. Hang them by the ceiling for their ankles. Yeah, that's also a possibility. It's coming. If you ever find it, Dave, just send it my way and I'll show them. You gotta find the link to the thing right now for Galaxy Heroes. But, alright. So we got Acolyte. We have Lando. We have
Rangers of the New Republic.
Rangers of the New Republic.
We haven't talked about Kenobi.
Oh, well, Kenobi.
I'm excited for it. I like Ewan McGregor.
I'm excited for it too. I wonder. I mean, I think if Mace Windu's going to show up at all in any of these shows, it's going to be there. But we'll see. But how are they going to handle Vader in that show? Like, they're like, oh, well, Hayden Christensen's going to be back as Vader. They didn't say he's going to be back as Anakin Skywalker. Like, I thought,
yeah, so it's not going to be flashbacks.
Right, I thought it would be flashbacks, because I heard rumors that he was going to be wearing, like, Clone Wars armor, there would be Clone Wars flashbacks. Are they going to talk about his Kenobi's forbidden son, Corky?
I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
I think that Anakin Skywalker is dead to Obi-Wan. Like, Vader is still alive. As far as he's concerned, Anakin is dead. And because of it, no matter what, when he is on screen, since it's being told from Kenobi's point of view, he is Obi-Wan. He is Vader. Even if it's during the Clone Wars before that, in his head, that's still Vader.
Yeah. Because the way they made it, they were talking about it where there's going to be more duels and things like that. I'm like, how does that work? Now, I mean, when you do duel on the Death Star that last time, and Vader's like, I haven't felt that presence since, and it just kind of trails off. They didn't say since how long. It could have been since, I think they said this was going to be 6 years after Revenge of the Sith.
I haven't felt that presence since Tuesday.
Yeah, like it could have been like, but I mean, it seems like that this wasn't going to be that long after the prequels. I thought it was going to be a lot longer for some reason.
So my understanding, I don't know if anybody in the chat's up to date on the Star Wars comments, because I stopped following them, but there was a time when Luke was looking for the journals of Obi-Wan, and we got a couple of flashbacks in the comics. And one of it was, I think, like 10-year-old Luke and Obi-Wan, who had spent the last 10 years not being a Jedi, and then getting to the point where he was like, okay, I'm a Jedi again. Like, I can't fight it anymore. I have to go out. I have to help people. That is my job. And I don't know where the comics went from there. That's like literally one of the last two that I read.
Yeah,
And
I just know that one.
The show doesn't contradict that.
I mean,
I really want it to be nothing but Obi-Wan meditating in the desert for 6 episodes.
they're definitely going to take him off planet, but I think it's going to be like the show is going to be over a short span of time. Like, it's only going to be like a quick adventure. I don't think he's going to be gone for very long.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's something short. I hope it's something just fun that kind of like fills in the character.
And he's gonna it's something that's gonna involve, like, if he doesn't do this, it's gonna jeopardize Luke's safety, I think. So, I think it's gonna have to happen, but I don't know. It's weird. They have to tell us what happened to Corky, though. That's his child, and we all know it.
Slandering Obi-Wan.
He's too good of a Jedi.
Listen.
If anything, he's the father of Leia.
This nephew of Bo-Katan and Satine, who's never mentioned or seen again. Bo doesn't consider him part of her line. It's because he's the son of Kenobi. I don't know. I really hope we maybe see some Darth Maul.
That would be cool.
Crimson Dawn.
The end of that. Like, we've seen what the end of Maul versus Obi-Wan is in that beautiful, like, samurai duel we got.
Oh, it was great.
That was such a fitting end for Maul. I'm so happy they fixed it.
Well, I love that it showed Maul learn nothing.
Yep. I mean, that's what the dark side does to you.
Yeah.
So, it works. It works. It was very beautiful. It was probably one of the best, like, animation, like, sequences that feel so real. I don't know if it's a way to put it, but
theory. I hope Ted comes back.
His phone died.
Oh no! Sorry, Ted.
Anyways, theory. Hayden Christensen is going to be either Vader or Anakin, but he's going to meet Obi-Wan in whatever, like, Jedi astral plane exists.
The Chalk Zone! No, not the Chalk Zone, but, like the Kylo Ray space?
Yeah.
It's
They're just going to hand each other things
through time and space.
The Force Doom call, if you will.
Yeah, I have a feeling their connection is not going to be physical. I don't think they're going to physically be in the same place.
And that would be really cool, like, to bring back some of that, like, connection that Kylo and Rey have that's never actually adequately explored. That was one of my favorite things about the movies. Anyways, I'm not bitter. Like, but to see more of that with Vader and Obi-Wan and them trying to break that connection.
Yep. No, that's really true. I think there's a lot of possibilities there. I mean, I feel the same way about the Obi-Wan show that I kind of felt about Solo initially, where I'm like, cool. I wasn't, like, super psyched about it, but then Solo became one of my favorites. Like, so
Solo is the best movie they've released so far.
I remember sitting down with a friend when they announced Solo, and we made a list of things we didn't want to see. And it was like, I don't want to see him meet Chewie. I don't want to see him and Chewie become friends. I don't want to see how he got the Millennium Falcon. I don't want to see him do the Kessel Run. And then we walked into that theater and we're like,
okay,
it was fun.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it, and I think it had. Like I liked Kira as a character a lot, and I really hope we see her at some point too.
If they eventually do a Solo sequel, I'd like to see it as a limited series, and I'd like to see Bryce Dallas Howard direct it.
That would be cool. That would be cool. She definitely earned her stripes. I liked her episodes a lot.
You could have her and Ron Howard even work on it together if you wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, which would be kind of funny because it was written by this father and son duo of the Kasdans, so to have a father-daughter directing team would be cool too. So yeah, and the Lando series might tie to that too. So we'll see. We know the one guy is the showrunner, but we don't know if he's directing all the episodes either. So it'll be cool. The other thing I am looking forward to about Kenobi though is I really love what Deborah Chow did with the Mandalorian. So I think that she's gonna have a pretty cool vision for Kenobi too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that.
So we'll see how that goes. And then, so Dave Filoni's writing Ahsoka, which of course we knew he would. Why not? And but it did say a limited series on her thing.
I don't need more than a limited series for that.
I don't think so either. I think it's also going to catch everything up to speed to whatever they're going to do next. If it's going to culminate in all the shows fighting Thrawn or something, which is maybe why they're going to do this like this, why they would have 4 shows in the same timeline.
I hope no. I don't know. I love Thrawn, like I really do, but I don't know. I don't like how he's been the series savior so far. I feel like he's just like this attempt to bring in the old EU fans with like, hey, we've got Thrawn.
Well, I think at this point, which I think is how it started in Rebels, but then he took on this whole other life in Rebels. I never read the old Thrawn books, so I had no attachment to him. But of course, when he first showed up on Rebels, I'm like, oh shit, that's Thrawn! Like, I knew who he was. But I had no attachment to it. But now I really want to see, like, the post-Rebels story. So that's why I'm like, give me that. That's where I want to see him. It's not so much the EU connection, it's the Rebels thing. I want to see...
And like I was saying about Luke and the OT fans and just, like, that nostalgia overpowered that moment for me, where as a person without the nostalgia, I felt left out of the finale.
Yeah.
I feel that is what having everything lead to Thrawn could turn into, is a moment where it's like, if you don't love him in the EU, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Like, that is the fans that they're trying to reach.
Maybe. But I think they bridged the gap in Rebels. For, like, someone like me. Because, again, like, I never read them, so I have no... But the shit that happened with him in Rebels, I just thought was really cool.
See, I don't think the Rebels was a grab for the EU fans. I think Rebels was more, we have access to this character, he's a good fit for the role, let's bring Thrawn back.
I don't think Rebels brings in EU fans just because it's everyone I know who isn't one of us, like my other friends, are very much like, it's a children's show, I'll get around to it. Even my friends who like Clone Wars are, I'll get around to it.
Man, I don't know. The last
I like
two
Rebels
seasons
more
of
than
Rebels,
Clone Wars. Hot take.
Yeah. Well, I love Rebels. In a lot of ways, other than like some arcs in Clone Wars, I liked it more than Clone Wars. But I guess it depends, you know?
I'm hoping that we see, since we know Ahsoka and we know that Book of Boba Fett are taking place in the timeline of The Mandalorian.
And Rangers.
And Rangers of the New Republic, which we haven't really talked much about yet.
Not yet.
I really am hoping that that means we're going to see all of these limited series that kind of they marvel and draw strings from, and like we get a culmination that is a movie or something that draws all of those plot threads together in the end.
And that's what I think they're building towards. And that's why I think it's going to be Thrawn, because who else would they have as the Thanos type entity that brings everybody together if they're going to...
Yeah, no, that...
Evil Ezra.
It could happen too. Who fucking knows where he is?
Snoke V1.
I feel like there's room for plenty of things, to be honest. Like, just in general, because it's such a gap that we don't know what's going on during. It could be anything. It could be Ren and the Knights of Ren.
The original Ren.
Oh, that would be cool to see the Knights of Ren be redeemed.
The Knights of Ren have one job,
and
Darth
it's
Binks!
posed menacingly within 20 feet
Binks!
of main characters.
Darth fucking Binks. Oh my god.
Joe would lose his mind.
I believe in Jar Jar. I believe George Lucas absolutely intended on Darth Jar Jar and now is trying to be all cool like he didn't.
I'm down for that. Yeah, no, the Knights of Ren would be cool. Like the initial thoughts there. I mean, something's happening with Grogu's blood that they're gonna do, and I don't know if that's gonna lead back to Palps or that's gonna be to something else that they're doing. There's gonna be whatever they... I mean, look, if Thrawn and Ezra ended up in some kind of crazy-ass place via the space whales, they could have brought stuff back with them.
Space whales.
The space
Space
whales.
whales.
I mean, who the fuck knows where they took them? Hopefully not to the Yuuzhan Vong, but
I was thinking they wound up in Chiss space, most likely.
yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. So, okay, here's Thrawn. They're looking for him. He's around. The Empire's gone. What the fuck is Thrawn doing at this point? Where's his loyalties? What's his goals? Like, what is he going to do?
There's definitely room to make it an original story. I'm just concerned that Disney realized how much they alienated EU and OT fans with the sequels and are now trying to overcorrect.
Well, Filoni fixed Mandalorians.
He did.
So
Filoni loved us.
I have faith in them. I think if anybody's gonna do it, it'll be them. Like if someone's gonna mess with Thrawn, I'm glad it's him and them and not Ryan Johnson. Or so I have faith that whatever they're gonna do, it's gonna make sense. Because they tie the things together eventually. Like I know, like we were saying how we had so many unanswered questions and little things we hope that they would see, that they would show and talk about, and I think we'll eventually get there through either the Bad Batch or these other shows. Like I think the pieces, the blanks will get filled in before the whole story is over. They're kind of slow burning some of it.
I really do think we as fans need to remember how big Star Wars is interest-wise. Like, in the chat, like, High Republic is for the Jedi or badasses fans. Like, there are people where they love Star Wars because of the Jedi, and there are people
my husband.
There are people who love Star Wars because of the Mandalorians, because of the space military stuff, because of the I can't think, like, because of the edgelord Sith Lords. Like,
Don't forget about the segment of the fan base that loves the fascists.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah.
Smugglers, like,
Underworld.
The smugglers,
Well, and I
the underworld. Mm-hmm.
as we engage with Star Wars media, especially moving forward, we realize that some Star Wars is just not meant for you.
Yes.
You are not the target audience.
I'm going to go see Rogue Squadron. I'm not really one for plane movies.
Me neither. That's not my
I'm-
thing.
I'm going to go see it. It's going to
Yep.
be cool. It's going to be like...
It's going to be like Star Wars!
It's gonna be grizzled old Wedge Antilles, the only surviving member of Rogue Squadron and the Top Gun instructor for all these new fucking pilots.
But I have friends who are like super stoked for it,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
just
I
like,
do too.
cool, new Star Wars.
I do too. I mean, my husband's one of those guys who's like, I only want Star Wars for dudes with glow sticks. And I was like, well, that's okay. Star Wars is big. We can have different stories. You don't have to... But he ended up liking The Mandalorian anyway. So...
Like, Star Wars is big, and I like that they're taking chances and telling stories that we didn't wind up seeing
Yes.
otherwise and wouldn't wind up seeing otherwise.
Yeah.
It's really cool that they're giving... Like, the Lando series is being directed by a black director and written by a black director, and we're seeing more voices brought in that are going to tell stories that are
The Acolyte's
different to the ones
female-led.
we've seen because of it. The Acolyte is female-led.
Mm-hmm.
Visions, I actually have the thing open.
Oh,
and
yeah. No, and
because of
Visions
it,
I'm actually super excited for, too. And we didn't talk about
Visions
that at all.
is
It looks
going
pretty
to be
cool.
other voices, and it's going to be they're bringing in anime studios for it,
Yeah.
and that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Like,
Just give it all to me. I will consume all of it. And some of it, I might not... I mean, look, The Mandalorian is basically peak Star Wars for me. I don't know if anything's ever going to get better than this for me. But we'll see.
I don't know that it can.
Not for...
Like, I don't know
this
that
is
it's
my
gonna
thing.
get better for me.
This is like they're hitting all of my fucking things in this, but I'll love the rest of it too. It just this is it for me. Like I'll die happy when this is over, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's
Like,
We're getting a spy thriller in Andor. Like, that's pretty fucking cool.
I love that.
Point is, and like, of course, there's no room for gatekeeping, but there is especially no room for gatekeeping bullshit in Star Wars. The galaxy is too big. There's too many themes going on. There's too much to enjoy and too many stories to tell for you to be like, oh, you like this because of the sequels? You're not a real fan. It's like,
yeah.
no,
No,
they're
we're
just
gonna get them out of here. F those
One of-
people.
One of my friends said recently that if we just give it 5 to 10 years, we're going to see the kids who saw the sequels at 10 and 11 and 12 are going to start being voices in the community, and it's going to be the reason they like Star Wars.
I know. It's going to
And
be it's going to be strange. I won't lie, but it's going to be
strange,
something.
but I was 12 when the prequels came out. I fucking love the prequels.
I love the prequels. But I think I love them more after Clone Wars, to be fair.
Clone Wars definitely helped. Obi-Wan is my favorite Star Wars character, and it's entirely because of James Arnold Taylor. Like,
but that we have my son, and I think I'm going on almost 3 weeks of every night. The book he wants me to read him is the little golden book, This Is the Way. That's what I read to him before bed, and every night he requests that one. It's for about 3 weeks and the streak's gone. So, there's also these kids that are growing up on this.
My friend's 2-year-old will ask for certain scenes from The Mandalorian. It's like before bed, she wants to see the ship fall down.
I mean, that was such a badass scene, too. That was good. That was so good. We're getting so much good fucking Star Wars. I'm never going to complain about it. It's going to be amazing. Especially, and everything that Filoni and Favreau are going to do. The Rangers, I'm sure that's going to be fucking cool.
I hope it turns out to be Walker, Texas Ranger in space.
That's why Cobb Vanth, he is...
I'm here for it. I think
that was fucking awesome.
I don't think Cobb Vanth is coming back. He's got to stay in his thing.
We'll see. Unless something happens to that town.
We may wind up seeing an early season episode if it's about Cobb Vanth that is the town falling apart after.
I think if we see Vanth again, it's going to be in Boba Fett.
That's true. They might pull him back in for that, and then he gets pulled out.
Maybe they pull him in for Boba Fett, and then they pull him into Rangers. I could see that.
I mean, they could have just pulled in Timothy Olyphant for a 1-episode thing and been like, hey, this looks fun. I'll do that shit, right? But, I also think you don't pull in Timothy Olyphant if you're only going to have him for 1 episode. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I didn't think... I thought the same thing for Ming Wen, because I was like, there's no way they're just having her for 1 fucking episode and she dies. There's no fucking way. She's coming back.
No, exactly. You don't bring in a big-name actress like that for that.
So
for
I have
1 episode and killing her off.
I have the same feeling for him, but we'll see. I think him... Mayfeld, if we get Iden Verso, she's a great Ranger in the New Republic, and Hera, I think would also be cool.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Because if they're gonna all kind of culminate this in the Thrawn Rebels sequel kind of story, they're gonna have to bring in all the rest of the Rebels. So Sabine will show up somewhere, Hera will show up. I don't know.
Hera has a kid.
Yes, and he's got green ears. It's
if
really
he was,
cute.
We don't know when exactly the Rebels thing was.
Epilogue?
We might see. Yeah,
well, I think they said that he flew with her over Endor.
The Nocturnal Shemi, is that?
Nocturnal Alchemy.
No, I see it.
Ragtag Veda-Goo-Gooders.
I can see that too. That would be. I actually would really like that because we're talking about drawing all the threads together, which is fun. But I also would love to see something that's not in the Outer Rim, that is actually shows us the New Republic.
Mid Rim or something like that.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I wonder if they'd want to highlight all that just for it to then be blown up later. Maybe they would.
I know we did this before the stream started. I just want to show everybody my corgi shirt because it makes me happy.
It's so cute.
It was a Christmas present.
In fact, Nocturnal Alchemy, who is my friend Steve, he was the one who adopted the corgi that I started fostering. Ein. He was the best.
Well, then he should know that we're getting a corgi in March, and I'm so excited. We've been on the wait list since before we moved.
And I need to be vaccinated.
And it's going to mean my baby fever is going to go away because I'm going to have a puppy.
Yeah, that will cure you real fast. But I want to be vaccinated so I can come see him. It'd be really cute.
Our corgi's name is going to be Senator Aaron Fur.
Okay, normally I don't like dogs or animals with people names, but that's a good one. That's not like...
Well, we're just going to call them Senator. And it actually was inspired by the Brett Kavanaugh.
I just want to be able to yell I like things at my dog, so...
Do you like beer, Senator? I like beer.
Oh my god. Well, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Whew. You got. Wait. Hold on. Let me see if I can do the thing. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Can I do the thing? Did I do a thing? Here.
Oh, what are we doing here?
This is everything coming 2021.
This is change. I don't like change.
This is everything coming 2021.
What are we doing? No, this is
We got
different.
Bad Batch.
Why did you make it different?
Cool.
Well, I was just showing you the picture I have on my desktop.
It's very cool.
It's my picture. So
I'm
Bad
only
Batch is gonna be
playing
first, though.
Unexpected change.
So Bad Batch will be first, and I think we're gonna see a lot of things in that show. And again, it was a show where I was like, I don't want this, but now I do.
I'm kind of meh about it. Like, I'm gonna watch it. Obviously, like it's Star Wars. But Bad Batch, I'm kind of.
The trailer sold me.
The trailer sold me. Actually seeing
Fennec?
Fennec.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I think they're going to answer a lot of questions for us. This is basically going to be the answer to, like, old school Imperial Commando.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see here, and that's cool. Like, I would have really liked to get, the sequel to Imperial Commando.
I
But
know.
here we are.
But this is the best we're going to get. They're going to keep cherry picking stuff. So maybe maybe we'll see Delta Squad again. I mean, who fucking knows? They're there somewhere.
Just like we were saying earlier, there's something for everyone in Star Wars. I thought the Bad Batch was dumb as hell.
I did
But
too.
like, I'm glad you liked it, Uncle Monkey. Like, I just got sick of them by the end of it. But I'm really happy there are people who liked it. Like, the only part of the new Clone Wars series season I really liked was the Siege of Mandalore.
Yes.
I felt like the Bad Batch arc went on too long, and then there was the part about the sisters that I just didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the target audience for that.
Yeah. I think so. I think the Bad Batch arc was clearly to set us up for this. And then I think when they expand on them, like, I don't know if the characters themselves will ever really grow on me, but I think the events of the show and everything that's going on is what I'm going to enjoy about that.
I hope if we're getting the Bad Batch as main characters, they are going to have more characterization and not be kind of one note, which is how they felt to me.
They did. But I think we'll see, some growth there. We'll see a lot of what happened to the clones. We're going to see... I think we'll see the beginnings of what happens to Mandalore.
Maybe.
It depends on how far the show goes. Like,
I'd be surprised if it goes past Return of the Jedi. Or past Empire, rather.
I mean, it's true. I think it would probably end before Rebels starts. But there's a chance they might stretch it out. I mean, we don't know. If this is really the epilogue for the clones, then I feel like they're going to try to tell the whole story.
So, looking at, like, these 4 things on this list, High Republic is all novels and comics, which I'm going to read and probably be mad at.
Yeah.
Because there honestly hasn't, besides the Thrawn books, there haven't really been any new Star Wars novels I've liked.
Yeah.
They're also not paying royalties on their old books.
Which is sad. They need to fucking
It's so
do that.
upsetting.
Yeah, I read, the Bloodlines book with Leia was probably the best that I had read so far, but it took me a long time to read it, and normally if I like a book, I'll read it in one sitting. So that if it takes me a long time to read something, then
I haven't read Alphabet Squadron. Like I said earlier, I'm not really a plain, like, fighter kind of guy. So
not here for the fly boys.
It's cool. Squadron for a day.
I probably read the synopsis, though. I mean, if it's anything, eventually I'll get around to reading them, but I haven't yet. And I read the beginnings of the Aftermath. I didn't read the Ahsoka book, but then they kind of changed some of it, too.
I liked the Ahsoka book, but that one I listened to as an audiobook back when we were long distance, so...
Oh, lots of driving.
I was knocking out audiobooks every weekend.
I'm excited for the comics more than the books for the High Republic, so we'll see.
Me too.
I think that's going to be cool.
I'm really excited for Visions. It's the thing that has the most potential to be just interesting, I think.
Well, you are recovering weep trash. So.
I am recovering weep trash, that's true.
I'm not a huge anime, like, I like a lot of anime, but I'm not like, alright, that's a wrong statement. I like a few animes. There's a lot of shit that I just have no fucking clue about at all.
That's fair.
When I'm drinking a dragon...
Watch Madoka Magica. Off topic, but like, it's fucking art.
If you like
major lesbian vibes.
Like,
oh, well, I might.
If you were a Sailor Moon fan or anything like that, Madoka Magica is worth your time. It is only 12 episodes, and it is gorgeous.
I might try that. My drinking game at Dragon Con was, is this Doctor Who or is this anime? Because I don't know either of those things. That's basically.
See, no, I feel like we need to add a third category, which is someone's LARP character.
Oh, but you see, as a longtime LARPer, I can spot those immediately.
I always love, like, that's my favorite is when you meet somebody in an elevator and you're like, I don't know what your costume is, but it's really cool. And they're like, it's my LARP character. Let me tell you. And I'm like, yes, please tell me.
No, never ask a LARP person about their character. You'll never escape. You'll be trapped.
I like it. It makes me happy.
I'll take you to one LARP con and we'll cure you of it.
I want to, take me LARPing. I've never been.
Oh boy. I love the Animatrix too. Yes. See, that's Visions. If Visions is like Animatrix for Star Wars, I will go.
Since Matrix 4 apparently comes out this summer.
And on HBO.
The movies no one wants.
But like,
yes.
I'm going to have to rewatch all the Matrix movies, and that includes the Animatrix. And Nikki's never seen the Animatrix, so we're gonna have to fix that.
Yes, it's so good.
Nikki doesn't need to watch the Matrix again. Nikki doesn't like
the Animatrix is the best Matrix movie.
It is. It's way better than the rest of it.
Nikki has had enough of like people being pretentious and being like, "Oh my gosh, the Matrix."
You didn't understand the allegory, did you?
Watch it once at least. Give it a shot. It's good.
I read Childhood End. I get it. It's okay.
All right. So I guess Visions will probably come out though between. I mean, they didn't give a firm date for Bad Batch besides spring, but that can be any time between March and May, right? Like, and then Visions will be in the summer, and Book of Boba will be December.
And High Republic, the first book, comes out in January, I think.
I think they had like a bunch of the free chapters of all the stuff coming out, like the first chapters, and I downloaded them for all of it, and I haven't read it yet. But they had that on Amazon somewhere.
I just love the aesthetics. Like, it's very high fantasy meets Star Wars, and I'm here for it. There's a lot of like leather armor and I don't know, elf cloaks involved.
I love the Mandalorians. Obviously, I'm a Mandalorian, but I also love Jedi, and I want to see more lightsabers. I want to see more dark side, light side. Where does it meet? What does it mean? Like, I'm excited.
I hope, and I hope there's, clearly there's gonna be a bunch of Jedi for all you guys that love the Jedi. I've never been like one of those people like, well, I want to play the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, that's never been me. I've always been like, I'll play the bad guy or the smuggler.
I feel that way I used to feel that way. And then I played a Star Wars tabletop RPG where I wasn't a Jedi in a room full of Jedi, and it sucked.
Oh, I've played that. My fucking D6 game was they all escaped, all these little Padawans escaped Order 66, and then they ran into me, the Mandalorian, and it was D6 system, which means it sucked balls for me, because they were rolling like 100 dice, and I had like 5.
Yeah, we were playing the revised Star Wars role-playing game. The D20.
I played a Savage World Star Wars conversion, and we had one Jedi in the party. I was DMing. And it worked out really well, actually.
Yeah. I was the only non-Jedi, and man, I did have the dark saber though. But yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that because that's definitely like fanfic come to life.
I would run it a Savage Worlds Star Wars conversion. I'd run the same game that I did for my
the 5e.
my players. It was fun.
The 5e stuff looks great for Star Wars. I don't know if you've seen it.
Ben and I are halfway through a conversion for Pathfinder 2e for Star Wars.
If I was going to run another Star Wars game, I would stick with the Savage Worlds because it was just so, I don't know. I feel like they did the Force powers so well, and it is so roleplay focused, and the character creation so easy.
To be fair, I don't know what any of the 5e stuff does for Force powers because I didn't look at them because again, don't have any desire to play a Jedi or any of that stuff. I mean, they're just like, it's a Jedi. Bleh. I'm that person.
And I have a Revan game I want to run at some point.
Yeah. Our tabletop game, Revan took over from the father on Mortis, and he was just running the planet, basically. That was how it was going.
So, my concept for my Revan game that I want to do, I want them to find the mask of Revan, and I want that to have become this relic where whoever wears the mask becomes Darth Revan, and there has been like a chain of 2,000 years of Revans.
I love it. That's awesome. I would play in that game. There could be only one. We'll all fight over it.
Well,
yes.
The party's gonna kill each other, Nikki. Like,
yes.
What I want. Well, and I want to like make a mechanic for light side, dark side Revan too, where it's like if you're wearing the mask, you are either being compelled towards the light or compelled towards the dark, depending on what choices you make.
Cool. That would also be a cool VR game. Make it so. Let them hire you. You should write it for them, and they should hire you.
Yeah, they don't pay their writers.
well, that's the old writers.
They pay their current writers.
Yeah.
But they don't work with good writers. Timothy Zahn is the only good writer they've worked with because he already has the history. From what I can tell, their writers that they're getting are like...
Claudia Gray is supposed to be good.
She's
she
okay.
wrote Bloodlines, and some of it was okay. It's just
but they're not. I feel like they're not getting actual writers in sci-fi because nobody wants to touch it because they're not paying their writers.
They don't. A lot of people have stopped messing with other people's IP. It's just they lose a lot. Like look at what happened to Karen Travis, basically. So a lot of people don't want to tie their fortunes to someone's IP that they don't own anymore. Chuck Wendig, same thing.
Chuck Wendig also talked shit on Twitter a bunch and.
Yeah, but so does a lot of fucking people. I don't know. They did him dirty. Even if his books weren't great. There are parts of his books I liked. But overall, I was just like, this is kind of disjointed and weird. But again, what did he have to work with? If they're like, this is what you have to write towards, and...
Yeah.
So
I don't think they even gave him that.
Yeah, wow.
From what I understand, I did a Q&A with the writer of the Ahsoka book. And from what I understand, she was not given a whole lot of guidance.
Yeah. I think nowadays, though, they're probably trying to make them... They, had, a writer's conference and stuff. They're trying to keep them... The story group might actually be doing their job. for, trying to keep them on par.
Star Wars fans actually pay attention to continuity.
Yeah.
Who knew?
So we'll see. I mean, High Republic is going to tell us. I mean, this is what the writers' conference was about, right? Getting this High Republic thing cohesively, mapped out. So we'll see if this experiment works the way they want it to.
It's fascinating that they sat down and went, we should have an overarching plot plotted out before we go into something major.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought? So we'll see. It has a lot of potential. I mean, the thing I'm most looking forward to, of course, is the Book of Boba, because, man, and I'm glad Robert Rodriguez is attached to it, because after seeing the gallery episode, basically I just knew he was totally, so he's my guy. He just wanted to see Boba the way I always wanted to see Boba, and he made it happen. He's such a
fucking nerd.
Yes. Yes, he is. I love the fucking anime he did with his sons and the costumes and the action figures, and Dave Filoni's like, yes, this is the most amazing thing I'd ever seen, and he was like, I found my people.
Just made me want to watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico, though.
Oh, I know. I love all those movies that he did. I've always been a fan of his stuff. And then it's funny to think that he does all that and then he does things like Spy Kids. It's just very like he's kind of all over the place, but he's fucking awesome. So I'm glad that he's attached to it, and I think it's going to be epic as shit. And it ends with him somehow tying back to the next season of Mandalorian. Like, it's all going to go back there. I think. I hope. I can't imagine they're going to kill him off, but it's also Robert Rodriguez. They might.
If they kill, like, I will be at peace if they choose to kill Boba Fett off, because they've redeemed the character. If they kill him off, it's going to be in a meaningful way.
Yes, yeah.
I just looked up his IMDb page because, he is also making a producing a Zorro TV series.
Sweet.
Which I really want. There's a sequel to Django Unchained that's a comic where he meets Zorro, and I want that so fucking badly
that would be
as
cool.
a movie.
We know that he's buddies with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and like, if they were to do that, and you get Pedro Pascal to be Zorro, because he'd
More
make
thirst
a great
memes
Zorro.
for us, Nikki.
As long as he doesn't get rid of the mustache.
I know. That's a rule. He always has to have the mustache.
He needs the mustache to be Zorro.
He is also the only dude who has a standalone mustache that I approve of.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lack of Pedro Pascal's mustache is
Really
one of the crimes against humanity that happened in Wonder Woman.
Yep. Nope. Yep.
One of the crimes against humanity.
The other thing we're getting is apparently a sequel to Machete, which is Machete Kills in Space.
Sweet. That's going to be fun.
Machete in Space.
100%. Yep. I'm good with that. Whatever. It's going to be great. I love it. I want to see what's going to happen with him and Fennec. Also, I think I saw in the background of that scene the dancing girl that Boba was flirting with in Return of the Jedi. I don't know if you guys saw that. I thought I saw her in the background before everybody fled. Like, it was just...
Been there this whole time.
Oh, I'll check that out.
Well, it's only been 6 years.
That's one thing I hope they address, like, is Boba Fett a flirt? Because one of the very few character-defining moments we get of Boba Fett is him being flirty.
We also get that meaningful glance he exchanges with Lando.
Yep.
We're fucked.
That's concern.
Well, and they know each other, possibly. Cross paths at some point. We might see a young Boba Fett in the flashbacks of the Lando Calrissian Chronicles. Could happen.
We have 20 minutes from when we normally log off. Can we shit talk Daniel Logan now?
All right, it's time for Steve to unload about Daniel Logan. Go.
So, I've basically had strong feelings about Daniel Logan ever since he slandered my boyfriend on a podcast.
I don't know the story of this.
Joe was involved with a whole thing in the Mercs trying to get Daniel Logan in armor before Celebration Anaheim. And a whole bunch of shit went wrong that was beyond his control. And instead, the Boba Fett fan club or the Dented Helmet, one of the two, I don't remember who, got together and made a costume for him. And then afterwards, Daniel went on someone's podcast and talked shit about Joe by name.
My God. Why?
And so I've kind of... And also, the guy's kind of just an asshole if you meet him in...
Yes.
I've met him in person multiple times. I've hung out, like, we drank together. He's just, like... He's really full of himself.
Yeah. And
for someone with 14 entries on IMDb, one of which is Captain Fett in Sharknado 4. Like, okay, bro.
And actually the thing for me where I decided, like, no, I am done with Daniel Logan was him. I honestly feel like he was rushing to announce Jeremy Bullock's death. I feel like he wanted that moment where he got to announce it. He put his own headshot
on it. He posted the memorial with his own headshot.
Yeah, I noticed all that too. It was really weird. I was like, that does not give me good feelings.
Yeah, and I'm just done. Well, I think part of it is too is I used to like I said, I've hung out with him. He's be like, oh my gosh, it's Boba Fett. He's so cool. He's kind of cute, and he's like, but he's not.
Nah, not when he's an ass. If you got one claim to fame and then you abuse it and you're an ass about it, then whatever, dude.
Like, I know multiple people who have stories about him, like, sneaking out to go to strip clubs from his booth instead of, like, doing the signings he was supposed to be doing and all sorts of shit like that.
And with the passing of Jeremy, but which is sad because he was, like, the best guy. Like, he was the coolest fucking guy.
Oh my god. I had the privilege of meeting Jeremy Bullock once and doing, like, a, when we did MegaCon one year, we got him and Logan over to take a picture with our whole group that was there. And afterwards I got to chat with Jeremy for a little bit. And he's just this nice old British man. He looks around at all of us in costume. He's like, I don't quite understand it, but it makes you guys really happy. And I'm like...
I ran into him unexpectedly at SuperCon, of all places. Like, the shitty little SuperCon. I didn't know he was going to be there, because I didn't even know I was going to go until we went. So I didn't look at who was going to be there. I just went. And I turned the corner and I pretty much ran right into him. And I was like, holy shit, that's like Jeremy Bullock. I turned to my husband, was wearing one of my Mythosaur skull shirts and everything, and I told him, I said, that's Boba Fett. He's like, you want to go talk to him? I'm like, I can't just go up and talk to him. But he was like just chilling there with nobody. Like, nobody was like around his booth or anything. So I did. And he was like so cool. And him and his wife just talked to us for like ever. They let me, we take pictures and everything. And my husband can never get over it because one of the things he was saying, Josh, are you there? What was he saying? It was like something about the dark side, like, feel the dark side. Like, he was like saying these, my husband's like, why is Boba Fett saying that? Like, what is
Oh, he had no clue about Star Wars. Like, he was
just great.
Money, which good for him.
Josh, what did he say? You remember. I know he remembers. Because it like blew his mind that he would say this. And he would like, but yeah. But he was so nice. And he would just talk to us for like the longest time. And I was like, he's so cool. Like, he's the opposite of Daniel Logan, basically. Like,
he's like, I put this costume on once. And it was like this weird experience. I like said 3 things. And then we were done.
And
now I've been getting checks ever since, and those are nice. I like money.
Yeah. My husband was like, this is not what Boba Fett should be saying, but all right.
Just the other thing for me lately has been Daniel Logan keeps posting pictures of himself face swapped onto Tem.
Yeah.
And
again,
it's
a little
fucking
envious
weird.
and weird.
It's so try hard.
But you know what?
They did it with you. Sit down.
Tem is like a gift. He's just so awesome.
That's it. Daniel Logan is a pick-me asshole.
I'm looking forward to Tem being the Boba Fett from now on.
Me too.
It's fantastic.
He makes me happy. All his behind the scenes stuff, it just makes me so happy. Like, he's just like so happy to be doing what he's doing, and he feels it and he loves it. And he wears the cowboy hat and he shoots air guns, and I'm like, I'm here for this. This is awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, shattering the Stormtrooper helmet. Yeah. That's my kink.
Stormtrooper armor shattering is my fetish, as it turns out.
With the armor and then that. Oh yeah, that shit is brittle as fuck, apparently. But only against, a Mandalorian swing, some kind of fucking beefy-ass melee weapon. So I'm here for it. It's cool. I don't understand what plastoid armor is supposed to protect you against. It doesn't protect you against blasters, melee attacks. I don't know.
Or poisonous gas. It doesn't filter toxins.
So what the fuck is it for? Nothing. I mean, they just mass-produce soldiers and they're just throwing things cannon fodder. That's what it's for, basically. So, yeah. I'm good with it. I'm excited for the future of Star Wars. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to continue on with through the year, hopefully, with more Mando Mondays, even though who knows when actual Mando will be back.
I mean, starting in January, we've got WandaVision if we want to do that.
That's true.
And
Cobra
that's going to
Kai!
be weird as shit.
Oh no, I'm so excited for WandaVision because House
Me
of
too.
M is my favorite Marvel story of all time, and this feels very House of M to me.
It's and in the investor call we got it confirmed that is going to tie directly into both Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man 3.
Yep. Where we're getting everybody who's ever been in a Spider-Man movie ever. All of
Do
them.
I have to watch Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 and Spider-Man 1 and 2 to watch Spider-Man 3?
Yes, you do.
Gotta watch 1, 2, and 3, and then you gotta watch 1 and 2, and then you have to watch 1, 2.
Are they
Event-
gonna bring in, like, what about the animated Into the Spider-Verse stuff? Is that gonna...
That would be cool.
I think that's going to stay separate. I think we're going to
Because it's
wind up
totally
with
Sony.
a live action Spider-Verse instead, which means I might get Emma Stone as Ghost Spider, and I'm here for that.
I don't even remember if I've seen the Garfield Spider-Man movies.
They're decent. Like, I really liked them. I was kind of disappointed when I heard they were rebooting again, but I really like
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland
He's really
as
good.
Peter Parker.
Yeah. He does it good. He's good.
He's adorable.
I'm excited for
I
it.
like high school Spider-Man. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's cute. It's fun.
Yes. I want to see Nick Cage's live action Spider-Noir.
I'll see anything Nick Cage is in.
He's gonna be in the history of curse words or something on Netflix.
Oh, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
It turns out I just like Nicolas Cage.
Do you?
That's true. I do too. Let's watch him go try to steal some kind of other relic from something.
If
Gotta-
I could be anything in the world, I would be Nicolas Cage in National Treasure.
I mean, that's
My-
definitely a goal.
My fondest Nicolas Cage memory was when we watched National Treasure like 2 or 3 during a lock-in at church, and I fell asleep and woke up every 20 minutes
The
going,
third
what the
one?
fuck is going on?
Is there
There's not a
3?
third one.
Oh, okay.
It's 2.
Okay.
But like every 20 minutes I would wake up again and be like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I had swine flu when that went around, and I watched National Treasure 2 probably 8 times that week.
Man. Ugh.
It was the only thing that was on cable, and I ran out of other shit to do.
That's
I had
true.
read all 4 Twilight books already.
To be fair, whenever I saw that shit like on TNT or something, I would end up watching it. It's just one of those movies. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So yeah, live action Spider-Noir, I'm here for that. All the Marvel shit that's coming out, I'm excited for. We got a lot of Marvel we can talk about.
And
We are
I
all a
think-
bunch of Marvel nerds too.
I think we've got 2 or 3 things coming out almost immediately too. It's
Yeah.
WandaVision, and then something right after that.
Was it? It must be the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I think it
that's
is.
the next one.
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out.
Out in the spring or the summer.
I'm excited for that one, except they cut Bucky's hair and it is
It's
a travesty.
His hair is terrible now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the hair. So I guess we'll see how that's going to pan out. And I think they have the animated show coming this year. Is the What If this year too?
What If might be this year.
Which is also going to be cool just because, again, it might be like Animatrix style, like Marvel bullshit. But it is What If, so it's not like this is canon shit. But it's going to be cool stuff.
So
I'm
we
excited
are
for that.
getting... oh, wait, nope.
See,
That's-
Uncle Monkey, I don't get hype anymore. I actually, Rogue One killed my hype. I do not get hype for things.
Oh, I
am
loved
just
Rogue One,
Leslie
though.
looking forward.
I
to it.
get hypes. I get hypes, but I try not to get disappointed. It's hard.
Like I didn't get hype for any more Star Wars. I didn't get hype for Cyberpunk. I
She
don't.
didn't
Get
get
hype for Clegane Bowl.
I did not get hype for Nintendo.
I mean, you want to know what killed hype for me? Game of Thrones.
Clegane Bowl was supposed to be it, and it just...
I don't get hype for things. I'm just like, oh, that looks interesting. I'm not going to devote any more time being excited for it.
Star Wars and Marvel probably still get hype from me, but everything else.
I'm really glad I didn't get hype for Avengers Endgame because I was disappointed having no expectations.
I love that movie.
So, we get WandaVision in January,
Wait, can you say you love Endgame? Hold on. Sorry, I'm distracted. How can you love Endgame? It's so bad.
It's
Because it ties everything up.
It does it?
Yeah,
It's
it
a
does.
clip. It's a clip show.
Well,
It
that's
does
what it
tie
does.
everything
It
up.
ties, I mean, that was a lot of shit to tie up.
Nikki refused to watch trailers and therefore was upset by the time travel because she wasn't expecting it.
Oh, well, I mean, we all expect, I mean, we predicted it probably was going to happen, but it was like the conspiracy board again, where it wasn't totally confirmed that it happened until
I
we
was
saw.
I was like, they're not actually gonna. Oh,
We
Oh,
figured
they
out
are.
it was going to be a time jump based on Black Widow's hair, basically. That's how
Nope.
we knew.
That's exactly it.
I realized what would have fixed the plot for me, and that is if they had like 2 or 3 movies between Infinity War and Endgame where they had established the snap as the new normal, and then there were like real actual stakes for Endgame. I think that would have like fixed it for me instead of
I
like
think
do
the
think
only
that would've
person
been
that
better.
had stakes, though, was Tony Stark.
yeah.
Yep.
Everybody else's life basically got upended and destroyed because of that, and
Yeah.
they couldn't move on. But
Well, and I
Tony
think
had
if you
stakes.
had a couple of movies where they had established that as the new normal, and then it's okay, do we risk our new normal for the sake of bringing everyone back? Then there's actual stakes and there's actual drama. I was so bored during Endgame.
I guess I that to me that whole need was filled by Tony. So I get
didn't-
your point though. It could have been different. I mean, who knows? We might end up seeing some shows on Disney Plus that take place in that. At
That'd be
some
Captain
point.
America.
Hits Thanos with Thor's hammer, like Nocturnal Alchemy said, and that alone was worth the $12.
To me, like I was that that clip of the theater when that happens and everybody's screaming. Like that was me when that happened. I was screaming for sure because Cap's my favorite. So
Cap is best.
I think, yeah. Well, that was like, I think by the last 30 minutes, I just ignored everything that came before it and be like, oh, now it's a fun action movie. Okay, I'm into this. I'm like, all the portals
everybody
open
coming
up.
out of the
Like,
portals.
okay.
I loved it. I loved all of
Yes,
it.
that was cool.
So I mean,
But
if
before
they had
that,
to
I
wrap it
just
up.
suffered through a clip show, and I was like, I don't need to see the great. I just watched all these movies getting ready for this.
So we've got 6 Marvel TV shows coming out in 2021.
What? All 6 are coming out in 2021?
We've got 6. It is WandaVision in January, Falcon and Winter Soldier in March, Loki in May.
Oh shit! I forgot about
What
Loki,
If?
which is the one I'm.
What
really-
If comes out in mid 2021, and then Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye are both supposed to be out in 2021.
My God.
And that's not even to mention the movies that are coming out.
Well, Infinite G was talking about things being pushed back, which that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we also have
5
5 movies that are supposed to come out.
God damn.
I will not stand for Hawkeye.
But he's not
I
Mohawk
know
guy
he-
anymore.
He tries so hard.
He does. But
It's not his fault. He doesn't have superpowers.
I liked him as Ronin. Like, a Hawkeye show when he was Ronin just murdering the fuck out of everybody during the time? I would watch that. That would be something I'd see.
I'm really excited for some of these going forward movies just because we're getting some weird shit. Like,
yes.
Multiverse of Madness is going to be fucking strange.
Which
like,
I'm here for it. And
Thor
the
Love and
mutants are coming
Thunder
in.
I'm just kind of like, what?
Yes!
But I'm
Taika.
excited for it.
Which is another thing we didn't talk about, which is Taika's fucking Star Wars movie, which I am like 70% sure it's going to be based on Tales of the Jedi. Like way back.
He said something about, after it was announced, he said something along the lines of, I can't wait to ruin Star Wars.
Yes. It was on Instagram and it was brilliant. I think they're going to put him as like the foundation story of the Jedi. I think that's kind of where we're going, where he can be really fucking weird about it.
You think he's going like 25,000 years before the Republic kind of?
I think Tales of the Jedi with that weird ass space shape that flies. That thing. It's from the comics.
Space shape.
That weird diamond, not a diamond thing that they showed in the background.
With the hand
Evangelion.
movements.
You're thinking of
Evangelion.
No. Well, I don't know. It's the... Hold on. It's the...
No, please keep gesturing. That was fun.
Hold on. Hold on. I will fucking find this shit. Where is it? Give me images. Where is the thing? Where's
Talking
the thing?
Weird
It's this weird
Marvel.
shape thing. What?
The weird pleat. Yes, that's helping.
All right, hold on. Tales of the Jedi. Let me see, because I know I'm not the only one that fucking has this.
Nocturnal
Theory.
alchemy. You are becoming my nemesis. Stop speaking these things into the universe. Droids.
Oh, that's another thing that's coming out. We're getting a Droids TV series.
Oh yeah.
Well, as it turns out,
It
I'm
turns
not 7 years old, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I
that
skipped
one I'm
those
not.
episodes of Clone Wars.
Where the fuck is it? Is it this? Hold on. I need to find it. Like, I'm gonna die on this hill until I find it. But anyway, when they announced that movie, in the background is this thing, this shape. Like, all it is the logo and this shape behind her, which is really weird. Oh, here it is. Here, wait. What is
I
this?
like that the when they announced his movie, the Star Wars logo looks like fucking Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes! But it looks like the holiday special and heavy metal from the 80s, if you remember that shit. Do you remember
I don't, but I'm aware of it.
So I think that's what he's doing.
I was born in
Because-
'89, so that's
Oh, you're such a
it
baby.
before my time.
You're such a little baby. I'm only
Oh,
4 years
you
older
don't
than you. I'm only... Okay, hold on. Here's the shape. Let me get to... Where is it? Okay. Screen. Screen share. Where the fuck did it... No, where's the shape? Here. Why is it blank? Why can't you see it? God damn it. Alright. Anyway, I'm gonna have to, like, take a screenshot or something. I don't know how to fucking do that. There is a shape. It is like a diamond, 3D diamond. Hold on. I'm gonna figure out how to take a screenshot. Where's print screen? Print screen. I'm, like, going archaic with this.
Just like
Paint.
screen one.
Like,
Screen.
I just don't know how to fucking describe this without the damn shape. Okay.
I really want to see the damn shape because I'm really curious now.
Paint. Here we go. The shape!
The shape, Steve.
The goddamn shape.
This thing!
That is a shape. You're right.
This thing. What? No, you're
Prism? No, not a
This.
prism.
There.
No, that's a D8. That shape is a D8.
That is from Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
Are we gonna get some, like, XR Kun, Freedon Nad shit? Maybe.
I hope so. I would love to see him do something like that.
Because he could go crazy with that shit and it would be okay, I think.
Let me see some old Republic, like fucking Sith Empire, Mandalorian Wars kind of
Yes.
bullshit.
And I think that's, like, up his fucking alley. Like, he could do some cool ass shit with that, but, like, not have it tread on anything else, you know? Like,
You know what else they didn't announce, though?
the Rian Johnson movies?
The Rian Johnson movies.
Oh, yeah,
which
no, I pointed that out
I'm-
last time.
I'm kind of excited for his next movie about Daniel Craig as a detective from Louisiana.
To be
I'm
fair,
here for that.
yeah, I really liked that movie. Knives Out was really good. I just don't know if I never need to see him do Star Wars again. But then again, I mean, maybe he could redeem himself with his own story that doesn't touch anything else. I mean, I don't
I
know.
think so. I think
It's
he
going to be Bloom
could.
Kid.
I mean, I don't know. It's an elongated octahedron. Oh. Okay. I don't know what an octahedron is, but I'll take your word for it. That sounds shaped like...
It's a D8.
Well, the Broom Kid Chronicles, yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. There are parts of that movie that I really like, but there are parts of it that I absolutely
Well, that's the thing. Like, when I look at The Last Jedi, it is some of my favorite Star Wars ever. Like, taken out of context. It is some of my favorite Star Wars ever.
It's just not cohesive as a plot.
No. And that's what kills me, I guess. As someone that had to write a bunch of connecting plot lines and stories and all that stuff, it drives me up a wall. Everything you did with the sequence.
As a dungeon master who can tell a story that spans 3 years.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, I think that's what it is. All of us that like have that background, it's like.
As a Raylo shipper,
no.
they just didn't do it. They didn't go.
Where's Joe? Joe, she brought Raylo in here.
They didn't Raylo hard. No, they didn't Raylo hard enough. They hinted at Raylo. They tried to be like, hey, you Raylo fans, you like this, right? Well, we're not actually going to commit to it.
They're going to pull the rug out from under you. Yeah, no.
Give me Raylo, or stop pretending Raylo's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, who knows? If Adam Driver ever stops getting a million roles, which he won't, because he's just a great actor. So, like, I don't know if he'll ever come back to Ben Solo, but
oh my gosh, like the scene in Rise of Skywalker and him, and like the bookends with him and Solo, and I just it was so
him as Ben in the end of Rise of Skywalker is like the best. Like,
well, and I actually think he was set up for such an interesting redemption plot in the EU. I want to see Ben Solo have to face the consequences of Kylo Ren. I wanted that so bad because we didn't get to see it with Vader. Yeah. We're just like, he's redeemed now, yay!
Yeah. Like, no, but you know what? That is what we saw in Bloodlines. That was the one thing about that book that I actually liked. Was part of the plot was it got out that Vader was Leia's father, and it ruined her political career basically. Because him being redeemed or anything didn't mean anything to anybody else in the galaxy. He was a fucking war criminal.
I'm tired of redemption through death arcs.
Yeah, like, it's tired.
It is.
The concept of him having to walk out with Rey's body in his arms and be like, yo guys, I'm good now.
Like, the fuck you are.
Clap him in irons. Throw him in prison. Yeah. That probably would have been better.
Okay, you're not my nemesis anymore. That's also what I wanted. I wanted Rey to, like, wake up and Ben is gone. And then I wanted her to go to Tatooine and he's just in the Lars homestead. And she just looks at him. He's like, oh, I gotta go. Like, the power converter's busted. I gotta go, like, fix this. And that I just wanted that to be it.
It came from a full circle.
See Ben Solo fixing up the Lars homestead and nobody's gonna address what's going on.
I really wanted to see him eventually, like, training Finn.
Yeah.
Oh
that would have been cool.
The concept of him having to train Finn and, like, intentionally trying to goad Finn into, like, anger.
Like those little bits of Kylo popping through as they, like, they're just sparring, and then there comes a moment where you're like, oh shit, they're not sparring anymore. And there's just so much potential that could have been explored after the movies.
But nah.
He could have went on like a Black Widow type thing where he's got to balance his ledger and do a lot of good to make up for all the bad.
It's like, my name is Kylo.
I can't have babies.
But you know what? I mean, they could use the chalk zone for him.
I think that might happen. I think he's the character people would like to see come back the most.
I think so too.
Also, they did Finn dirty. Like,
but they have a chance to fix that. They could do a Finn and Poe series movie.
They're never going to get John Boyega to come back.
I think they could with the right person and the right story.
I think it needs to be time. I think there needs to be time. I think he needs to, like, emotionally recover from, like, the fucking hate from the fans.
The man went from a Star Wars fan to someone who hates Star Wars.
If he had the right director or the showrunner, if it was a show, the right writer, and he saw the script and he believed in the script, I think he would come back for it. I mean, I think he signed on to the original movie because he thought he was going to be the Jedi, right? Like, and then they kind of fucked him after that, and that was sad, but he was signed on. He couldn't help it at that point.
Well, he should be a Jedi.
And honestly, I see no reason for the way they reduced his role in the films other than racists didn't like it, and they're like, well, it turns out that's a big part of our fan base, so let's back this up.
Turns out we have a lot of fascists in our fan base.
Yeah, like, I think they're kind of deciding that they're not going to go down that way now. You know,
I hope.
With all the different things that they're doing with Star Wars now, and bringing in such a diverse team of creatives, I think they're saying...
They treated Boyega the way they treated Rose Tico, I really feel like they let their actors down and they let their fans down because they gave in to the toxic fan base, and that's another really disappointing part of the film. I think they would have cut Ray out if they could have.
Yep, there's a good chance. But I think that's why I think maybe if he had the right person behind it and the right story, I think he would come back and get the love he deserved. So we'll see. It could happen. I think we're gonna see a lot of what's gonna happen for the future with how all this wraps up with all these different shows, and then I mean they haven't 100% like outright confirmed that Patty Jenkins' movie is after the sequels, but it's pretty clear to me in their little blurb that it takes place after the sequels. So,
which I would like to see them do more with that time period.
Yeah, I mean, it's wide open. I
don't want them to just abandon it.
Yeah, they can't just keep going back. You know, I want them to go forward.
That being said, I only think The Mandalorian and even the Clone Wars were as successful as they were because the fandom had time to sit on those stories for a little bit. I think if they immediately jump into post-sequel timeline, it's going to be too much.
This is the palate cleanser, basically, and hopefully it's going to prop up the sequels like Clone Wars did and make it kind of seem better, and then they can move on when it's time for her movie. And then we can see what happens after that. I mean, who fucking knows? I mean, we don't know where the Mandalorians were during the sequel trilogy. We didn't see a single one. You know? Are there just not that many left still? Did they reclaim their planet and stay there, not come out? I mean, we thought we saw the Razor Crest. We thought we saw the Razor Crest in the battle, and now we know that was a lie. Rest in peace, Razor Crest. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that they can do, and I'm after The Mandalorian, I'm a believer that they can do it. The sequels kind of made me sad, but that's because Filoni wasn't really involved, and I think he's the heir apparent as far as I'm concerned. He knows what to do.
They need to have Kennedy focus entirely on the business aspect, I think.
I think that's what's kind of happening now, right? I mean, it seems like they just let Dave and John do whatever they want.
And then you let Dave and John run the creative aspect of everything. Like, I don't want Dave or John to be president of Lucasfilm.
No, because then they wouldn't. But like a COO, a creative chief operating officer, the creative team. You know, like the Kevin Feige of everything. Like,
yes, exactly.
Yep, let them do it. It's gonna happen. Yeah, like my friend buddy John says. Yeah, I've been saying that forever. That Filoni just needs to be in the Feige role. But like, he's gonna be doing Ahsoka. We're gonna see how that goes because he'll be writing it. I mean, I'm sure him and John are continuing to work together, but I think Ahsoka's going to be more solo him writing. A lot of The Mandalorian was mostly John writing with Dave contributing, with the exception of a couple episodes.
I think it's going to be them consulting each other going forward.
Yeah.
But like that's going to be Dave's show, where The Mandalorian is very much John's show.
And then it looks like both of them are together on Rangers, from what it sounded like. So, we'll see. It's gonna be cool. I hope they give us more fucking info soon. Like, we're gonna be in, like, this desert for a while. I want more.
Rangers might be a cool like, conceptually, Rangers could be really cool as an anthology series.
Yeah, that would be cool. A bunch of different, like, solo stories of different things and not so many. But, you know, they didn't say it was a limited series. Out of all of them, that was the one that just said a new series. So, I don't know. We need more information. When is the next celebration supposed to be? 2022?
2022 now, I think. And I think it's still in California, right?
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Orlando one after that.
We better. My God.
Chicago was weird.
And California's far. I just want to drive there. I'm biased. So
we did Chicago, and it was just a strange experience. Like, I enjoyed it, but it is because everything was so far away and just the weather, it was a very different experience.
I don't think now that Galaxy's Edge is open that they're ever going to do it in a place that isn't California or Orlando. Except for when they do Europe. Because I think they're going to want to tie it into all the events they do at Galaxy's Edge. We'll see. We'll see. But I think that's a big thing for them now. They want to keep propping that up, especially since all the theme parks had a pretty shit year.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. But I'm hoping we get more information before 2022. We have
I think
to,
we
right?
will. Well, we get an investor call every year.
That's true. But, I mean, all they gave us was, like, brief flashes, not, like, a lot of in-depth stuff.
I think it was mostly a, this is the stuff that we're beginning to work on. But they also showed the investors who were actually, there, a lot of stuff we didn't get
I
to
know, and
see.
none of it's leaked out yet.
It hasn't leaked yet.
I know, I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad about it. I keep waiting for it to leak.
There was footage from Kenobi. Like,
was it real footage?
It was either real footage or
I
like
don't think
stills and design
I think
concepts.
it was design because I don't think they started filming at that point where they had anything. Andor was filming.
Filming Kenobi earlier.
Andor was filming
this
now,
summer.
and I think they said Kenobi was about to start filming at the call. So we'll see. I don't know if they EMP'd the room ahead of time. That I wouldn't be surprised. But it was all on Zoom. How would they have EMP'd people's Zooms? I don't know, or whatever it was. Their secret links. I would have just been recording on my phone the shit I was seeing, right?
They're just they have a way, probably based on what you're seeing on Zoom. They're like, oh, that was fucking John. John was recording this shit. We know it was him. And then the lawyer ninjas show up.
May the 4th, that's true. D23? I don't know if they're going to do D23.
They didn't do D23 this year, did they?
Mm-mm. Everything got booted. Everything got canceled.
I think that's why so much got announced at the investor call.
Because normally it would have been at D23 or Celebration or even Comic-Con, which they didn't. They opted out of. So
I miss conventions.
I
miss my friends.
Me too.
Me too.
And on that note,
now we're all gonna be sad.
no!
Well, especially now, like, it's over. I had the COVID. I'm done, right?
No.
Well,
'cause people
I
get
realized
sick twice.
even if you could, like, use science to tell me absolutely I've had COVID, I'm not gonna get it again, I'm not gonna pass it to anybody, I would still wear a mask because otherwise you look like a fucking dumbass.
Yes, you don't want to be a mask hole. You gotta wear one. A maskless hole, really.
People here in Florida need to get their shit together because they canceled my Ren Fair, and that's not okay.
And now my nephew is sad. My
I'm sad.
3-year-old nephew is sad
But
because
if
they
anyone
canceled
was
Ren.
going to spread a lot of COVID, it was going to be the Ren Fair.
Oh yeah.
In fact, it's a miracle that I did not get COVID from the Ren Fair because that is literally where I was the weekend before they shut everything down.
I was going to go the 2 weeks that they shut down.
Oh.
Like, I was like, it's outside. COVID's far away. We're fine.
By the summer, guys. By the summer. I'm hoping.
I wouldn't be surprised if the first event I get to go to is
MegaCon.
the Ren Fair that I go to in North Carolina in November.
Oh, that's a good show, too. That would be nice. But I think, when is MegaCon supposed to be? Did they push it to whatever? When did they...
MegaCon has MegaCon'd as hard as they can at this point. They've canceled the show. They're never coming back.
Maximum chaos.
Now we don't even know when it's going to be. That is as chaos as you get.
That is MegaCon through and through. Well, we will all go and have the Syndicate Batu Crawl when we can.
So MegaCon 2021 is going to be March 18th through March 21st.
That's just getting canceled.
I'm not going.
March?
March.
Oh yeah, no. That ain't happening.
Fuck that.
Nope. It is definitely getting canceled. Maximum chaos. They are not done. They are not done. And for those of you who don't know, MegaCon is our biggest Florida convention. And it is always just, even pre-COVID, it is always chaos.
Well, I remember the time we ended up with so many vendor passes because they weren't actually paying attention. We had 2 people go and pick up the vendor passes by mistake. So we had,
I think so did Kevin.
so we had like 40 passes, and we're just calling random mercs like, "Hey, you want to go to MegaCon?"
Yeah. I mean, normally it's it was my first convention I ever went to.
That's where I met Steve. Steve and I met at MegaCon.
I did the worst thing ever, which I know is a bad thing now, but R.A. Salvatore was there, and I did my first cosplay ever. I was a drow.
Yeah. They took that episode off Netflix, Stacy.
I know. I know, and I should take that all off of every social media I have.
Love to see pictures of that.
I was Quenthel Bainray, and it was glorious.
That's awesome, though. Quenthel Bainray is the best Bainray.
She is the best Bainray. And R.A. Salvatore thought I was awesome looking, and I had a dryad slave on chains with me and everything. It was just, that was my first convention. So
I'm in the middle of a Dristery read.
Oh, well, that's another...
You said that, I heard, like, Dristery, and I'm like, Drizzt, like, mystery stories? What? Like,
Gromp is also good.
D&D.
Gromp is great.
I love Gromp, but to me, they did him dirty. I mean, Jaraxel is also my favorite. So, I mean, to be fair, he's also the greatest Bainray, not Bainray. But anyway, yeah. So, the other thing about MegaCon is all their guests that we want to see cancel, like, right before the convention starts. So,
Remember when all 4 Hobbits were supposed to be there and then they just canceled the convention instead?
They knew we were looking forward to it. And they decided, no, we cannot let them have all the Hobbits.
Honestly, for me, it's from the trying to organize with them perspective is the worst.
Yeah, no, they're just crazy. Who's
they
running
did
them
MegaCon
now?
Tampa Fan Expo.
Oh, okay.
I think
Repop. Not Repop.
No, it's not Reed Pop.
Yeah.
They did MegaCon Tampa Bay that year. I emailed them 5 times, something like that. Never got an answer, never got an answer, and then got a message the day that it started from the people in Tampa saying, hey, they have a booth space for us.
Like, literally, they were walking the floor, and they look over, and there's just an empty MMCC booth, and they're like,
Where are
I was like,
these
guys, I can show you the emails. They never got in touch with me.
Well, my favorite was when one of the fan day expos they were doing, and it was once again, we're emailing them, they're not getting in touch with us, and finally, like, the week before, we're like, oh yeah, of course we want you guys to have a booth, and then they, like, figures out a booth real quick, and the director or whatever was walking through the con, he's like, I'm so glad that we could find space for you guys last minute, and we're like, fuck you, we emailed you 2 months out, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it's normally in March or, well, it used to be in March or April, and then they moved it to May.
Yeah.
I usually start trying to communicate with them back when I was the one doing it in December.
Yeah, you're not, it's Batu's problem now, right?
Yep. That's
Yay.
Jose's issue.
We could just show up and cause maximum chaos on our own end without having
I mean, I do
anything Jose asks me to do while I'm there, but...
But it is not administratively our clan's problem, so that's good. We have SuperCon, which is the whole nother bag of ass.
PalmCon's supposed to be happening again.
Huh.
Yeah, dude who
runs it, I'd be shocked if he believes in masks, knowing what I know about him, but hey, I'm not getting COVID.
Unless it's after everybody's vaccinated and the world has gone back to normal.
It's usually the 3rd or 4th week of September, so I'm hoping it winds up there.
It might be okay by then. We'll see. But yes.
And definitely interested if that's the case, but I'm not, like, trooping is at your own risk. I am not responsible for that.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to us finally doing a Batu crawl. That's what I want. That is how I want to kick off or end this whatever the fuck happened year of garbage. Let's go get drunk in Galaxy's Edge. And around the world at Epcot. We can just, transport from there to there. We could still be Batu dressed and just go around the world.
We'll just be smugglers.
Yep. We went through the chalk zone and we ended up in a really strange place. It'll be fun. Yeah. Let's start in Canada and in Mexico. I never drink in Mexico, though. That only leads to pain and suffering.
No, Mexico has really good frozen margaritas, though.
What do margaritas have in them?
I know, but
yeah, I can't. I cannot. Nope. Tequila leads to bad decisions.
Was it?
I have a rule about tequila, and that's I don't drink tequila when Greg is around.
And Greg's not here to defend himself right now.
Oh,
Greg is aware.
Greg knows what he did.
Oh, Greg, you know what you did if you were here.
Greg forgot that Nikki is small.
Uh-oh.
I can't take very many tequila shots. That actually New Year's Eve gave me another rule. My drinking rules are I don't drink tequila when Greg's around, and I don't do shots when I'm already drunk.
Yeah. I don't do shots at all anymore. I'm too old and bitter, and I just know I'm going to drink beer or cider or mead, and that's it.
Last New Year's Eve, we went out,
Marys.
and then like after we went out, half of us went home, but me, Nikki, our friend Chris, and our friend Ben went across the street to the ale house because it wasn't last call yet, so why not?
Do we have last call in Florida?
Yes, it's at 1:30 in the morning normally because the bar closes at 2.
But not in Miami, sorry.
In Palm Beach County.
Yeah, I was going to say, Miami doesn't have last call.
We've got one or two bars in the area that stay open till 5. But, so we got to the ale house and were greeted by shots. And then they told us last call was coming up, so told us to order whatever we wanted.
The first shot was a double.
First shot was a double.
It was a whiskey
double.
I'm already drunk.
Then a
I'm
tequila
dressed like
shot,
a flapper.
and then another whiskey shot. And then Nikki threw up out my window while we were driving, and it went back in the back window onto my friend.
Well, and the next day I wake up and like I feel shitty, obviously. And I look at Steve and I'm like, man, it was like that last 2 shots. And he just looks at me and went, babe, you did like 4.
I can't do it. 1 shot will get me wasted these days.
Well, she's like, you guys have no respect for the fact that I'm small. And we're like, Nikki, you have to say no to the shot. That's your choice.
Yep. No, that's part of being a grown-up. You gotta say no.
Well, I'm hanging out, like, all of these guys are, 250 pounds. Like, they're like,
I'll keep up with them.
I'm 10'6". I'm like, I'm 5'4".
Oh, honey. No.
I can't.
As the smallest person around a lot of people, and up until I had kids, I had a pretty decent tolerance. But no, you cannot. There was one convention where I think, I don't even know. I just drank from like noon till 3 in the morning, basically. That's how I rolled. We were drinking out of pitchers. We were like, here, put things in my pitcher. We're going to drink it. That's what we did. And it just don't. It's not safe. Don't do it.
I went to an Irish pub up in West Palm, O'Shea's. And I had a really great experience there once. We're hanging out, and these dudes walk in, and they are dressed in rugby uniforms. Oh. And one of them is carrying this, like, trophy cup.
Yeah.
And
this was the pre-COVID times when we just drank out of other people's glasses.
And it's like...
The alcohol kills it, right?
A big trophy, like... real big. And the dude keeps handing it to the bartender, and she's filling it with Magners.
Ooh.
And halfway through he fills it and looks at me and goes, do you want to drink out of the trophy cup? And I went, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And Joe looked at me, he's like, you're going to die. Like, this is how you die. You're going to get herpes or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm not winning any trophies. Look at me. This is my only chance.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. The pre-COVID times. And that's a lot of conventions, too, man. That's a lot of
I
drinking
used
people
to like,
handing
I
you
would
shit.
just walk around. Somebody's got chicken nuggets on their table at Dragon Con. I'm like, hey, can I have a chicken nugget? They're like, yeah, sure. We don't give a fuck. Have a chicken nugget.
They're like, try this thing. Oh, sure, whatever. Cool. Oh my god.
My friend Jared used to just hand me a gallon of pie and tell me to drink out of it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I did.
Oh yeah, no. And we had people that would bring straight up moonshine pie to LARP conventions, and we'd drink that, and I'm pretty sure that would have killed us.
I drank directly out of a Rennie's flask this year.
Oh, yeah, see, as someone who used to be on the circuit, that's what I'm saying. If anybody was going to get COVID, it would be through the run fair, because, yeah, you don't know what's in any of that stuff ever.
He looked at me and went, "You want to try my homemade rum?" And I went, "Yeah, I do." And he handed me the flask he was drinking out of.
I just like, it's been such a like mental shift for me because I used to be very much my immune system will take care of it, and now I'm like, no, I don't know you.
Anybody who goes to lots of conventions, whether they be, you know, gaming conventions, LARP conventions, Comic Cons, you know, whatever, general conventions, and you do the drinking thing with everybody, and you come home sick inevitably, con crud. You're like, whatever, that's just par for the course. But now I'm like, I am scared of illness. I don't want to touch anybody. I don't want to share anything. I just stand 6 feet from babies.
Some guy tried to like proselytize to me while I was in my car, and he'd like my window's down. He's not wearing a mask. He like comes up in my space, and I'm just like, you're in my bubble, sir.
No, window up. No,
I don't know you.
Do not. Man, let me tell you though, I'm excited to switch out of my suit's Under Armour, because that's what I wear under my suit, to like a new flight suit with my new set, because when I drink in the Under Armour, I don't know how drunk I get, because you can't tell how dehydrated you're getting when you wear Under Armour. And
I feel like that's a moment I had a lot in Kit where it's like, this is nice. I'm not sweating anymore. Oh, I'm not sweating anymore.
Well, and the worst thing that happened was one Halloween, and thankfully I was home, but I was so drunk in Kit, and then I stumbled back inside to go to bed, and I fell backwards into a laundry basket in Kit and could not get up.
Oh, no.
I was basically a drunk Mando turtle, and I fell. And my friends would never let me live it down, and now I've told more people about it, but whatever. But basically, yes, do not try to keep up with people that weigh two
I'm learning
as much as you.
I'm learning.
It doesn't ever work out well. And now I've become a one-drink person. And yes, now it's on the net. Whatever, drunk Mando turtle. That's my legacy.
I support you.
That's when I learned some valuable lessons about tolerance and drinking in armor and Kit, because yeah, Under Armour's no joke. But all right, well guys, it's 11:30. I know we're all on vacation, so that's why we're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is so fucked.
We
Like,
were up till 3 a.m. watching a trash fucking show.
But Bridgerton's so good. It's so good. That Duke. Woo!
Right?
He is a sexy man.
So I actually had a conversation with another group of friends about diversity in historical fiction, and they were like, it ruins the integrity of historical fiction. And
People in the group, 2 out of 7 people were like that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm watching this and I'm like, Steve, there's a hot black guy as the Duke. Now they'll never know that Regency England was racist. It's a racism single-handedly.
Whatever. It's fine when it's trash like this. It's not like a historical documentary.
Not.
Uh-oh, he clipped me. Drunk Mando Turtle's gonna exist forever.
We can do a reenact. Like, there's no footage, but we can, like, reenact it. That'd be fun.
The next Dragon Con. It's on.
See, I don't drink in Kit anymore. I got drunk in Kit once just to have the experience of it, and I ended up having to, like, tap another Lady Mando, where I'm like, I can't take my kid off by myself, and I have to pee.
Oh, see, and this
like,
is why I build my kit specifically for that purpose, that I can de-kit myself completely, as long as I don't fall in a laundry basket first. So.
I can de-kit myself completely, just not while I have no...
Can you?
I have a
Yes,
string on my zipper for my back of my vest. So once I get the back plate off, I can grab the string and yank my vest off, and that's the hardest part.
So what I was proud of when I got Drunken Kit, we then had to like drunkenly go from our hotel to like walk a mile, or the hotel we were partying at, and then a mile to the hotel where we were staying at. And I like fit my entire kit into my helmet, like rolled everything up, all fit in the helmet.
Shit.
I was drunk, and I'm still like, everything made it back.
Nothing
She can
would fit
still
in my
do that.
helmet.
It's really fucking
That's
impressive.
crazy. Like, nothing fits in my helmet except for my gloves. I can't even put my gauntlets in
Actually,
my helmet.
you have a backplate now.
Yeah,
I don't
but-
know if everything would fit anymore.
Well, and I also had like that Django bobblehead 2-piece that.
Oh, well, that's a big helmet.
fits me.
Yeah. Well, I have to print a new helmet one day. You got a printer. It's coming, Steve. That's exciting.
Wednesday.
Yay!
You
guys
did
are
work
gonna have
over Soldier.
You guys will have to tell me what your good settings are so I can.
I'll let you know.
But it's still sitting there taunting me, being like, "Oh, you're not printing
We,
anything." It's such a waste of time because I could be printing all my new post-imp shit right now.
I was thinking about it. I think I might still just buy the chest piece that we were talking about getting for Nikki because she wants the armorer's chest.
Yeah,
And
it's a complicated one.
I know a dude who was like $80, and
I'm like,
I'm just nervous
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it as much on me when I actually try it.
No, if you don't, you can resell it.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think my ombre is gonna look really good with it.
Yeah, I think it would look good with your color scheme.
I honestly think any of the new armor will look really good with it, though.
Yeah, you could go ahead with that.
Well, and I definitely want to move to a one-piece chest. I'm so tired of my
yes.
popping.
Me too.
Sometimes I can't even look at Boba's armor because I'm like, it's crooked.
Yes,
the
I know.
Spacing on some of his scenes is so bad.
I
It
hope
is,
he
it
can look a
moves,
Boba Fett.
And we're like,
hope-
yep, it's not perfect.
I hope he like reforges his armor
I think that might happen.
just to like have the one piece.
I hope it happens, and a lot of people freak out and like cry and be fanboy angry. I mean, some of them are really angry about the paint. And I mean, it's one thing to be angry about it. It's the one thing to be like, I didn't like that as much as the old thing, which is fine.
Yeah,
But to be
I don't like
angry
the paint.
about it, I'm like, yo, calm down. He paints his armor. It makes sense that he would repaint it after somebody else had it. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I need to print shit. I've also been tempted to buy stuff. I've been tempted to buy a helmet. People are sizing them. I'm like, instead of printing 10 that don't work out, just buy one. But
What kind of helmet do you want?
the new Night Owl. I love the Night Owl. It's so sexy. It's my
Yeah.
thing. I love it. And mine's just a little smaller than I want. Plus, it's a kid's helmet. I'd rather just have the printed big one. And even if I have to sand it for 10,000 years to get all the print lines off, I'll do it. So,
It's always the process of weighing, is it worth me putting in this much time printing?
yeah.
Or is my convenience worth some money?
Yep. And if it gets to the point where I haven't printed anything successfully by the time my new vest gets here, then I think I'm just going to throw money at it. Hopefully. We'll see. What's the joke about the stimulus? Well, it all went to armor. But I'm stimulating the economy. Hooray!
We're gonna stimulate the puppy industry.
Yay! That's a worthwhile purchase, too. Throw more money at. Yeah, I mean, I have the printer. It works sometimes. I haven't printed in a while, but I will print more stuff eventually. I'll print weapons and accessories and things. But when it's the pieces I need to exist, that's where I'm like, I just want to throw money at somebody who's going to do it right instead of me yelling and screaming. And
That's yeah.
all right. Well, everybody, I think we're good for the night.
yeah.
We went through a lot. I missed you guys last time, so I'm glad you guys are feeling better.
Sorry.
You came back. No, it's okay.
No,
We
we're
understand.
Up. That's actually part of what like fucked up my sleep schedule is I slept all day, and then when I wasn't tired anymore, I just didn't sleep.
No. I mean, I'm sure that has to be absolutely the worst. Yes, John, you need to wear that fucking. He's got the Anovos like Han outfit. He's one of the few people that actually has anything from Anovos, but it looks so fucking good. It looks so good though. So you got more excuses to wear it. We got to do Dragon Con again one day. whenever it happens.
One day it'll maybe.
And until then, we'll figure out something cool to talk about next week. What's next Monday? Let me see. Next Monday.
On Friday, if they do a new episode of the behind the scenes.
Hopefully.
It was only the one episode.
It was only
It
the
was
one.
only one.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. It's just
We
the
can
one.
talk about Bridgerton.
We Has anybody else besides the three of us watched it? We should make it required.
We can watch it.
Can you imagine Nick watching that?
Okay, so no, that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do a live stream. We'll just do we'll watch it on stream together and just record reactions.
Yep. That would be good. That would be funny. To be fair, have you guys seen Cobra Kai? Because that shit's gonna be out.
Not my thing. But
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched it.
Okay. Did you guys like the original Karate Kid? But it might be a
I
thing you
did.
guys are too young for, so.
I liked
it. I'm sure Nikki has never seen it.
I don't watch sports movies.
Yeah, this one's this is a nostalgia piece. So if you don't have the nostalgia, then it has no appeal. So I get it. Though it corrects a lot of its weird tropes, so it is kind of funny on that way. But okay. Well, and we will have WandaVision soon. Very soon.
Yes.
I haven't seen the last 2 seasons of The Expanse. I do want to catch up on it.
And it's something I definitely need to start watching.
Yeah. That's another one. We'll see about that too. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yay. We still need a new name. We need a brand. When are we ever going to figure that out? I'm going to start bugging everybody again about it.
Do we want
Come up with a name.
Stick with Star? Well, you can end the stream. I'll talk about this on the stream.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll find something. We can be like a generic name and just brand the stream for whatever we're talking about. Now this is podcasting. That has to exist somewhere. I don't know. I know it's the play on now. This is pod racing, but yeah, I don't know. We did learn that there was already a vodcast. You missed that one from last week. And Joe decided he was gonna be their nemesis. So you can't be your nemesis now because he's already decided.
I think Joe has room in his heart for multiple nemesis. I'm not threatened.
That's true. He really.
I mean, my nemesis is Joe Knowlton and the book Dracula.
Joe is the pure agent of chaos. He will spread it around everywhere. All right.
Nocturnal Alchemy is like reaching nemesis if he keeps putting shit out into the universe like a droid movie.
Steve's a good nemesis, so just be careful. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us, and we will do more shit soon. So until then, thanks for watching.